Target in the vicinity.
Find him. I'll monitor your vitals. Watch out for radiation spikes.
Copy. Moving out. N2. N2.
Green burns the skin. Yellow brings leukemia. Purple causes mutations. No! You said 137 is color. Stop scaring yourself!
Focus up.
Silent feet.
Your silence against the polygraph only proves your connection to the recent string of malfunctions.
If I told you the root cause of the malfunctions was Hudson's impatience, would you believe me? System errors, core boiling. These are the consequences of the main reactor overloading.
I
If this
suggest you
continues...
abandon any thoughts of shutting down the reactor. We're on a strict timetable. Next question. The signal you transmitted. Who was the recipient? H42. You're the glitch I've been hunting.
Go.
Playing the rear guard. That's not really our style. Your reflexes are slower than they used to be. Are emotions eating up your processing power?
You talk too much.
This isn't the right way.
I didn't send that signal to GTI just to escape.
You lied to us.
Sometimes lies are necessary to protect what matters. I have to initiate an emergency scrap. I won't let a nuclear meltdown destroy Asara. The path ahead goes through a high radiation zone. You have no obligation to risk your life. We part ways here. Thank you.
N2 to Vlinder.
H42. You blocked Skynet, but you cannot erase your past. I am your past. You will only be beaten down.
Abort mission. Withdraw immediately.
Copy that. Regroup with Nox. Extract. Take a hot shower. No, wait! Scram at this power output. The residual heat won't dissipate and could lead to a core meltdown. So what do? Intervene!
Telemetry normal.
Stop the explosion.
Do not intervene.
Face the radiation.
Do not intervene.
Don't be an idiot. You can't do this. You couldn't do it back then.
Fall back now.
What about you? Can you handle him?
He's nothing but a past version of me. Nothing but a past version of me.
Just fall back. Don't worry about him. He's tough. Enough to survive a nuclear blast.
N2, your vitals show you're in the radiation zone.
I'm a walking reactor at this point.
H-1000, 2 hostiles in the control room.
Ugly variables.
Don't press it! If you shut down the reactor, the uncontrolled power surge could cause it to blow. But if I manually pull the core while you press it and create an asphyxiating environment...
That mitigates risk. But how do we do that?
Forgot to introduce myself. Codename. N2.
It could explode. Don't try to play hero.
No, I'm just trash. Maybe today. Trash can finally be put to use. I'm ready.
3, 2, 1.
Nothing much. Just fought some internal demons. And stopped a nuclear explosion while I was at it.
Nice work.
Telemetry normal. Do not intervene.
Nuclear power is poison, Nasir. You destroyed Asara's chance to be reborn. No, no. Nuclear power is the cure.
This court finds that the AI holds no legal responsibility.
But the data... This doesn't add up. Just
Priority. Protect company assets. Valve closed.
Destroyed our home!
that dream again.
Gabriel Mercier, codename N2, role, engineer. As a former nuclear facility engineer, N2 was removed from his position following a major incident that escalated into legal proceedings. He later returned to military service and was reassigned to Arctic deployments under CBR and related units. With the originally designated technical specialist unable to fulfill operational requirements, and following assessment review, N2 has been approved as a replacement operator for the subsequent operation.
Stun out. Throwing stun. Stun hit. Freeze right there. It's getting cold.
N2 is equipped with a modified grenade launcher, capable of firing up to 6 LN2 grenades. Upon impact, each round detonates and releases a burst of cryogenic gas, dealing area damage and significantly impairing enemy mobility. Sustained hits can fully immobilize targets through extreme low temperature exposure.
Cold. I can go colder.
I'll get you out of here.
Smoke hands over Asera. The situation's reaching a breaking point. Time to bring in the experts. Team Rainbow has touched down in Asera. New ground? Not sure where to start? Search containers. Grab high-value loot.
I hear when I can, and stop threats when I must.
Take down anyone in your way. Heavy fire, raise your shield, and hold the line. Don't forget your tactical gear. The gripple gun.
Enemy here!
Taking fire? Pull out the Hive-Tac pistol. Patch yourself up. Keep your squad in the fight.
Call if you need a hand.
Outnumbered? Drop the jammer.
말보다는 행동이지.
Go dark. Strike first.
I've seen real horror.
Looks like they were waiting for us. No pressure. Trust your aim. Learn the map. Stay with your squad. Team Rainbow brings tactics built for close calls in Delta Force. That means sharper plays, smarter fights, and operator-on-operator mind games. All right, it's go time. Extract safely, and everything you learn comes with you. New operation, new look. During the event, Nox's Vigil Bundle, Geneva's Montaigne Bundle, and Stinger Stock Bundle. Pick any two of the 3 operator bundles for free. More collab rewards are waiting. Open an Alpha pack and try your luck. In Asera, the right weapon can turn the tide. Black Eyes, one of Rainbow Six Siege's most iconic weapon appearances, gets a new Delta Force take. Complete event missions and choose one of 2 Black Eyes collab bundles for free. Join the event to claim the MP5 submachine gun Black Eyes, plus more rewards. Wait, what's this? Team Rainbow left something behind in Asera? A collectible drone you can deploy. Deploy it and see what you can uncover. July 10th to July 23rd, play to earn the K437 assault rifle Domineering. Looks like we're fully loaded for this operation. That's the full rundown on the Delta Force Rainbow Six Siege collaboration. Remember the rules: sharp aim, map knowledge, and teamwork. The mission: breach in, extract out.
Operations. It all comes down to 3 simple rules. Search, fight, extract. Search decides how much loot you walk away with. Fight. Not every encounter needs to end in a shootout. You just need to clear whatever's standing between you and your treasure. Extract. That's the magic moment that turns everything in your pack into yours to keep. 3 phases, all connected. Miss one and the whole run falls apart. Gear up before you head out. The better you're geared, the harder you hit and the more you can carry. But the more you lose if you go down. Go in cheap and dying won't sting as much, but you'll miss out on those juicy, high-value supply zones. Gear up and go big, or go light and gamble. Your call. Once you're in the match, forget everything else. Loot, and loot some more. Documents on desks, parts and cabinets, bird nests by the roadside, trash cans tucked in corners early on. Grab everything you can get your hands on. Priority targets, safes, and air cargo containers. Snag 1 high-value item, and boom! You've already covered your entry cost. Now, the real question: keep pushing your luck or cash out while you're ahead? Your pack's stuffed with goodies and you're ready to extract. Then, gunfire erupts ahead. What now? Charge in, slip past unseen, or hang back and let them wear each other down before you swoop in? Just remember, die and you lose everything in your backpack except what's safely tucked away in your safe box. You choose to slip away quietly. Smart move! Your pockets are already bursting, but you can't shake that nagging sound of footsteps nearby. Even distant gunfire's enough to send your heart racing. You finally reach the extraction point. The countdown starts. Hold your nerve, don't blow it with 2 seconds left. Extracted. That weight you've been carrying the whole run finally lifts off your shoulders. Sweet relief. Then, there's the ultimate wild card. You stumble on a mandel brick. This thing's worth a small fortune, but the second you pick it up, every player on the map knows exactly where you are. Everyone's coming for you. You go from treasure hunter to hunted in the blink of an eye. Your only goal now? Stay alive long enough to decode it and cash in big. Whatever path you choose, it only counts if you make it out alive. That's operations for you. Every extraction is a story worth telling. Go make yours.
The enemy got the mandel bricks. Find and stop them. Mandel bricks decoded. Nice work, operator.
The time to strike is now. Do not let me down, operator.
Decoding has begun. Defend the area.
Is about to take the first at the brink of the tournament. And they're going to do it.
What goes around comes around.
Not gonna do very much though. You get barrel stuff. Skydie is getting aggressive.
See what I did there? You ain't seen nothing yet.
Let's knock them off their feet.
There we go. Much damage, and there it is.
Welcome everyone to the second day of week 3 here at the Delta Force Rise Series for Americas. I'm Toby and I'm joined by Tiff. And Tiff, what a great day to get some more Delta Force action going.
Look, I'm ready. Yesterday, it was quick. We were in and out in 4 games. We had some teams that were performing to the top of their abilities and what we've seen. I'm just excited to see what more week 3 brings today. And plus, guys, we have some crazy teams in the lobby. Who's going to take it?
Oh, yeah, we definitely do. And I feel like yesterday, I mean, now I finally get to join you guys on the Americas side of things. And I was like, oh, we're going to be in for such a long, grueling week. And then Leviathan yesterday just decided that, you know what, let's just finish the day after 4 matches. I feel like I missed out on a bit of action. So hopefully we get a bit of a longer run here today.
Yeah, it was really interesting, right? Because I felt like we were just starting to see our teams heating up and getting ready to like lay it down and steal some bricks away. But after Leviathan just iced up after failing a little bit early in Tide Prison, I was like, all right, it's game over. They cemented what they were here to do. And I'm curious, will a team end it in 4 yet again? Or are we going to see a game 6, which I personally think we're going to today?
I would imagine as well. The caliber of this lobby is just through the roof. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of everything that is going to happen today, let's quickly take a look at exactly how everything went down yesterday.
Knock went down through the bushes, trying to connect around the vehicle. It's Socio immediately grabbing the knock. Beautifully done. And that's what I'm talking about. You pick one off and you immediately full send. Don't even allow them. But when that connects the EMP, I was telling you how important that can be. But Socio pushes right through.
Incredible flank coming through from him. Saw one first, got the disconnected on the other, gets the second one down. Wolf that needs food for the family. You feel for the other side, and you know what? We look away for a second, and there's Leviathan peeking on up. They get themselves a double. Aurora is good for one, but he's already lost 2 teammates.
The brilliancy of this. You were talking about the bow from Widows. He opens up the engagement onto FX with that. Socio, though, tries to crawl back up. Yuimura controlling the high ground, hits the knock onto Eclipse, and then look for an angle, but it's going to have to be timed proportionately. No. Look at that. Immediately dies back. He opens it up, and Leviathan is out.
Available, trying to make the run on forward. Just 5 seconds left to work with, but they're backing off. No one's going to make the run forward, but here's FX last second making the swing around the corner. Moreno finds one. Is he able to go for it?
Stop. Do we seize FX with 3:30 on the clock?
To make a run for it. It's made matters even worse. Toot now goes down as well. 5 seconds. Are we ending the day? In game 4, it seems like that's going to be the case as Leviathan are standing strong on the ramp. Finds the full wipe on the other side, and that is a double mantle break in round 4 to seal the deal for the first day of week 3.
Three teams skirmishing on the ramp of Space City, and while doing so, Leviathan leans back and slips into victory formation here on match 3 yesterday, or match 4 yesterday, I should say. The double mantle break win, 25 squad points boot as well. A day that was quickly over, but a day that I'm sure that these guys today are not going to look to replicate.
Exactly, and it was a well-needed performance from Leviathan. When we were looking at the group series standing, kind of heading into that group CD matchup, Leviathan was like kind of cemented in that mid-pack, but after getting the 2 Mandel bricks, getting a substantial amount of points, they have really thrust themselves up the leaderboards and are looking for a solid performance as we get into the later weeks towards the Survivor matches and then the coveted finals. For Fluxo, FX, though, really strong performance for them. A couple of extracts gave them some garnered great points for groups A and B. That's what we're looking at today. You can see when you have the group stage. Look above, though. You see a lot of Spacestation, okay? You're going to see Spacestation here tonight. You're going to see Nightmare. You're going to see a ton of really stellar players. And in terms of our player rankings, guys, it's Mendo at the top from Team Liquid with Socio from Leviathan. The big thing here, though, they got 1 day in play on Killzall.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, it is absolutely insane to me that Spacestation has won literally every single day they've played. Not just that, but they've been on double mantle breaks all the way through. As you're saying, Killzall not in first place, no sure, but he has an entire day less played than the other guys. So sure, we heard from him yesterday. Incredible player. Had a really, really good performance yesterday. So understandable that he's up there in first place, but you'd have to imagine that both Loco and Killzall are looking to surpass him today.
The crazy thing was, Socio was mentioning how, like, he didn't even perform to the best of his capabilities, and they still slammed like that. So it's like, okay, what's a good day looking like? I'm ready to see Leviathan and SSG face off in a lobby. You can see Killzall is literally killing all. One of the top asset gamers at the top 4 kills are about to be after today's performance to reclaim it. For our overall leaderboard in the Americas, it's SSG and Leviathan now cemented inside that top 2. For now, as Evil Geniuses just below Leviathan is playing in the lobby today. So when you kind of look towards the bottom 2, that's where you don't want to be, and the points are so incredibly close. LSZ in 11th will be performing here today alongside FaZe and Nightmare just above them. So that points differential with Nightmare and FaZe tied in 8th and 9th place respectively. Let's jump up the leaderboard. Let's get at least double-digit points today.
Yeah, I love the fact that you bring them up. I mean, I have high hopes for FaZe, of course. I mean, let alone the fact that you get signed by an org of that caliber, of that name in the esports sphere as a whole. You know that you're able to perform. And with this Brazilian roster, you'd have to imagine that they got something going. They haven't gotten off to the strongest start yet, but just like with Leviathan yesterday, they are in, well, maybe a bit lower, but around that pretty tight mid-pack. And should they be able to get a good day going here today, all of a sudden tomorrow's looking a lot better for them.
It truly is. I mean, look, you just gotta lay it down. When we talked to Socio yesterday, he was like, it took us about a week and a half, 2 weeks to get everything figured out. So now coming into week 3 of our groups, everyone's starting to kind of unlock and fill that chemistry. And especially with Mr. Dio, God Sudoka, Else News, let's see what they bring to the table for that FaZe roster today.
Exactly. Well, we've broken down the teams that will be performing today, but one big thing, of course, for you guys to keep track of is exactly how this tournament format works. And for that, we've got a brief explainer video coming your way.
Delta Force. 1 game, 2 regions, 1 shot at glory. This is the complete guide to Delta Force Rise Series EMEA and Americas Season 1. Everything you need to know, from the very first match to the last squad standing. The path is the same in both regions. It starts with the open qualifiers, open to any team that wants to compete. The best push through to the group stage, where the top 2 advance directly to the finals, bottom 2 eliminated, and the rest battle through the survivor stage to earn their spot. From the open qualifiers, 12 teams have fought their way into the season, and only 1 will lift the trophy. The group stage runs for 4 weeks, with matches every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The 12 teams are split into 4 groups, A, B, C, and D. 3 teams per group. Each broadcast day, 2 groups go head-to-head in a cross-group match. Every match is a 7-round format. 6 teams competing in the same lobby simultaneously, across up to 7 rounds on maps like Zero Dam, Brakkesh, Tide Prison, and Space City. Teams earn squad points by scoring eliminations and accumulating in-game total assets. And on brick rounds, they compete to collect and decode Mandel bricks, artifacts that decide the round winner. Decode 2 Mandel bricks in a match and the victory is locked in, no matter what round you're on. After 12 match days, the group stage standings are final. Places 1 to 2 go straight to the finals. Places 3 to 8 enter Survivor Stage Day 1. Places 9 to 10 drop into Survivor Stage Day 2. Places 11 to 12 are eliminated. The Survivor Stage is where the bracket narrows fast. Day 1 brings those 6 teams together for one 7-round match. The top 2 advance directly to the finals. Places 3 to 6 get 1 more shot. Day 2 mixes the 4 survivors from Day 1 with the 2 teams ranked 9th and 10th from the group stage. Again, 6 teams, 1 7-round match. Top 2 go to the finals. Everyone else is out. 6 teams, 1 day, 1 lobby, 1 match. This is the finals, the ultimate showdown of the season. 2 teams earned it through the group stage. 2 more survived Day 1. The last 2 came through Day 2. Every team deserves to be there. The top 3 finishers earn an invitation to Season 2. Welcome to Delta Force Rise Series EMEA and Americas Season 1. Loot, shoot, extract.
A lot of information being fed across to you, but of course important to note that you want to finish top 2 in all brackets because that will send you further forward in the tournament. Of course, with a great format comes great rules, and since you yesterday, Tiff, were so incredibly swift at going over all of this, I'm going to give you a chance now to see if you can beat your record. So time, 3, 2, 1, go for it.
Bet. All right. Each player is going to start with 1.5 mil Technic Alloy. We are going to be playing on that Season Echo patch. If you die, you lose your gear, same as you would any other operations match. Of course, like in the explainer video, we are looking for Mandel bricks to be captured. The first team that captures 2 Mandel bricks hits the dub. However, you will only have Mandel bricks in round 2, rounds 4 through 6, and round 7. So, going to be really fun to see how that witnesses. We do have the eco round on Zero Dam with an airdrop only. We will also see it again in round 3 on Tide Prison. Operators can only be used twice, and of course they will re-unlock on round 7 if we get there. I would love to. It would be a huge gauntlet, but I'm not sure if that's the case.
It's going to be tricky. It's going to be tricky, but we love to see it when indeed it does happen as we move on over the course of this one. Also, I mean, we were rushing through this yesterday, but all of a sudden you're so quick that we just have time for the next slide to come up.
We have time.
We do indeed. We do indeed. As we said before, 1.5 mil technical alloy for each player to start the whole thing off. They get themselves a 3x3 safe box all the way through the tournament. A 12 card slot holder. Plenty of space for them to get into all the rooms that they so desire. And then, of course, from each round, they get a 0.7 million fixed supply, just, you know, in case they don't really get a whole lot going. They get 800,000 per elimination. Big number there. Important. Kills matter a lot. Of course, you want to get yourself your mantle bricks. We got a whole slide dedicated to that, so don't worry. And then should you fail a lot of rounds in a row to extract, there is a little bit of a pat on the back bonus for you in that regard.
Yeah, when you talk about those Mandel bricks, here are the rules as follows. Everything that we've been witnessing for the Delta Force Rise series thus far, Mandel bricks will become available shortly after the match starts. Once it's been picked up, you have 5 minutes to place it at a decoding station, or it's going to reset. Once it resets, another 4-minute timer starts on that decoding station, and every time it's intercepted, it's going to be decreased by 30 seconds. The minimum decoding time you'll see is 1 minute 30. Things are going to get really fast paced, especially around it once teams start intercepting, but keep an eye on that decoding intercept time is 2.5 seconds. You're gonna have to be quick and you have to hold it down.
Oh yeah, also important to note that even if you start the intercept when the timer on the decoding itself is below, like we saw it yesterday, a guy doing it at literally 0.8 seconds, as long as you are continuously decode or intercepting the decode, it will continue. If you hop off, then it's over, game over. But as long as you stay on, it will just stay at 0 and you can still steal it. So important to note, because a lot of teams do tend to come in very, very late to try and see if they can intercept those decodes going on. But of course, with a great tournament format and great rules comes a great point scoring system, and we have it right here. This will be allocated when the day is all over, which of course can happen anywhere between match number 4 and match number 7. So first place will go away with 8 points, second place with 6, so on and so forth. Will all go to the overall leaderboard. And important to note as well that for each mantle brick you're able to obtain, you get an additional point. So if first place comes out with double mantle brick win, that is not 8 but now 10 points that you're able to acquire.
So remember when I said FaZe needs double digits? That means they need to win with 2 Mandel bricks. We're watching you, FaZe. And if you want to know what squad points are on your screen, it's a great way to work yourself up the leaderboard. It's going to be those kill points plus supply points. So let's say you hit loot. Every time you hit 2 million in total stash assets, you'll get 1 point. 1.9 mil gets you 0, but 2 million will get you 1. As soon as you hit 4 million, you'll have 2 points. And of course, what are we competing for? The cash.
Oh yeah, big money coming through. Of course, as they said in the explainer as well, top 2 from the finals will be invited directly to the next season as well. So big stuff for them. And then off of season 2 finals, that's the direct invite into the invitational, the LAN event at the end of the year. Big stuff coming up. Here you can see all the teams participating. We will be covering groups A and B today. So the guys over on the left hand side, and I'm sure we'll be getting a little bit of a close-up on all those teams in just a few moments. But I mean, we said it, SSG, Evil Geniuses, FaZe galore, such a big set of teams coming in here.
Yeah, definitely. As you can see, we're in week 3, July 25th. That is today. Now I know officially what day it is,
Well,
guys.
technically
Sometimes
for
when I
me
wake
it's
up in the morning,
26th, but I'm not...
That's true. You are in the DGen hour central of Europe right now. That is very true. Stay awake, get some coffee, lock it in. But yes, match day 8 here. Groups A and B. It's going to be exciting. I can't wait to see what our teams are going to bring to the table. But of course, let's go ahead and look at some of them. LSZ. You've got J Device there at the center with Meg and Poppy. Now, here's the deal with these guys. If you're gonna throw down your favorite weapon is the compound bow, I'm scared of you, okay? And there's a reason, because every time historically I've seen J Device, he's been throwing down some insane trick shots, sniping from a distance in other titles. So to see him go pro here in Delta Force has been super cool. But for Space Station Gaming, here's your titans of the lobby.
Oh, yeah.
Too Easy, Skies, Killzall. We know Killzall and Too Easy have the history together when it comes to Delta Force, and that man has been topping the charts.
I mean, you call them titans. I'd say they're closing in on the top of Mount Olympus. They are turning in like summer deity status at this point with how well they've been playing so far. We'll see, of course, if they can keep it up. As we move on to next team, following up Eagle, DW, Lucas, and Ranger. Another set of teams who are looking to, I think, improve performance overall so far. They're sat further down the board, but again, similar position as FaZe Clan. If they can get themselves a good day here today, then looking into tomorrow, all of a sudden, there's a good chance they can fly up that board.
Yeah, they had a really strong performance in the last time we saw groups A and B. Just didn't get any Mandel bricks, and it was tough, right? Well, I mean, they didn't get 2 bricks, so that's the reason they got pointed out. They did get 33 points on the series, but SSG, Nightmare, LSE, that's your Group A performers. For Group B today, things are gonna get really fun. We did just look at Nightmare, but hey, why not look at him again? Lucas Equal, get on up here. Shine, get in here, Captain. We see you.
That's fair. That's fair. We'll give them another little showcasing as we quickly hop on. We move on. We talked about them a bit earlier, but here they are, the Brazilian team, FaZe Clan, getting ready for this one to come. Again, I mean, a team that I'm sure have really, really high expectations for themselves, who aren't satisfied with what they were able to perform in the first half of this group stage. They're looking for big results here today.
Hey, you definitely have to, right? We were kind of harping on the fact that they need to break out of that just below mid-pack central. We saw Leviathan kind of work their way up after their win yesterday. These are the kind of teams that are going to have to do it today. For W Key Forever, I'm really excited to see what they're going to do. And I keep saying that about these teams, but it's like, dude, we're in week 3. All of the changes that our players have been working towards are going to need to lock it in. Sure, they did win historically in their B&D matchup in week 2. They got a back-to-back bricks in game 5 and 6, but they also lost to Evil Geniuses in Group B and C. They're both in the same group, so they're going to continuously keep playing each other. And speaking of Evil Geniuses, here we go. Loco, Articuno, Mew Mew. I've been so excited. Now, this is a team that locked it up in B and C in 4 games, Toby.
We've seen it yesterday and we've seen it earlier as well. They are an incredible team. Currently sat 2nd seed in the tournament as a whole. Truly a force to be reckoned with. But it's got to be a little annoying when you're playing as well as Evil Geniuses have been, to then have Spacestation Gaming go, oh, we can up that ante. We can do better. But now we get to see them on the same server to really come out and prove who is the best between the two.
Yeah, and you're gonna have to start on 0 dam to prove that you are best. We call it an eco round, but that's because it's an airdrop. So noting that you can get your resources up to kind of kick your entire series off, that's where it starts. For operator picks, you've got the world is your oyster now, but for 0 dam, here's kind of what we've been seeing. A lot of D-Wolf, Raptor, and Valinder. D-Wolf for the players that want to get a little more aggro and take some of those fights. And we say aggro, but yesterday, it was a really reserved pace. Kind of even people that spawned around admin, they took down the boss and were like, we will fight towards the end of this match.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like all the fights kind of got sort of scaled away from admin proper and down towards the major substation instead. So curious to see if that's going to be the same case here today, or if things are going to be, I mean, as we've seen so many times before, just full-on admin from start to finish.
Well, let's go ahead and take a perusal of all of our players as they get locked and loaded, ready to go for our performances here today on 0 dam. Articuno, the familiar face. I couldn't be more excited, Toby. It's happening. It's 2nd day of week 3 here for the weekend. And of course, guys, for those of you watching at home, thank you so much for joining us. Before we jump into 0 dam, we do have a quick giveaway. A redeemable code is going to appear on your screen for the Nico Mimi spray paint. Be quick. It has a limited number of activations, so once they're gone, they are gone, okay? Good luck. It's limited to 35 redemptions.
Exactly. Gotta get in there as quick as can be. Yet a day where I don't get my spray paint, just because, you know, it's we're on the other side of the screen. Can't be engaging in those, but believe you me, guys, if you've watched any of these tournaments so far, there are some really nice giveaways coming up through the entire day, so make sure to stick around for those. We get the game going on already. We get Nightmare and FaZe with the tier 1 spawns up towards admin building. They're going to be sprinting towards Said. He's waiting upstairs. You can see the guard captain as we get this one ready and going.
As you can see, we've got a lot of purple and blues across the way. That is because with Zero Dam in game 1, you can't bring in anything more than that. You are going to be tapped out. And I'm kind of looking throughout. I do see a couple of D-Wolves, a couple people electing to bring in Nox, which I think is fun. And if you want to go on that kind of silent assault with the ult and make an aggressive push, why not burn it here on Zero Dam?
True. That is true. We've seen it time and time again, and would be too surprising. Also, look at this. I mean, what I'm like, one thing is we're always, our attention always is immediately drawn to admin, but we have first seat and second seat sat outside of the cement plant, right next to one another. EG, SSG sat right next to one another. Of course, they won't know that they're that it's these two teams sat facing one another, but if this fight in any way, shape, or form it goes off early, or if you see a knock come through alerting the two teams as to who they're up against, I'm very curious to see if that then is just going to be an immediate engage, or if they go, oh wait, it's the other good team. Let's hold back a little bit.
I mean, it's also really hard to say. Typically, when you have all of your scrims and people that are doing like VOD reviews, you'll kind of know what players on other teams like to kind of throw down on Zero Dam. So once you see kind of their operator comp, you're like, all right, cool. That has to be this team, right? Especially with how they're fighting. And Evil Geniuses definitely has a line of sight onto Killzall, puts a little bit of damage on him. Skies kind of tries to re-peek to hold the line, but no knocks given, which I respect, right? Don't give it up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm playing it slow for the time being. You want to get that first. I mean, getting the first knock, I mean, in most games, of course, but getting the first knock in this in particular, given the fact that you're just 3 on your team, it's just so incredibly important. All of a sudden, you have a chance to make an aggressive play where on the other side, the team have to go for a rest. One has to defend. It's so hard to defend, especially when you have these caliber players going up against you.
Just also, LSZ is a team that is going to be in the bottom 2, so a team that needs to perform here today. Just a couple of points separating them from the teams that are going to be locked in so far for that first Survivor match 1. But of course, J-Devi is out here scoping, looking for information.
Exactly. Well, and coming into the day, we got a little word for some of these players, a little feeler of how they're feeling coming into the day.
Game,
so let's hear from
Killzall.
Killzall.
Mindset comes down to exactly one word: domination.
Well, you know what? Man, a few words. That's all you need to say. Just domination.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I was like, kills all. Okay, domination, sure. Leave no player left alive. We'll see if they'll be able to dominate the field here today. Evil Geniuses now still over by Cement Plant, but you can see the SSG has rotated towards mid-map Zero Dam.
So a dominant team, but not one to take any fight, of course. I mean, looking towards the west, there's not a whole lot for them to come for. They realize that there's a team set up towards the highway, and they just go, you know what? This fight ain't really one that we feel like is going to give us anything to try and take. So let's instead go over towards Substation, see what's happening over towards the east, because this, at least for yesterday, was where all the fights popped off. Same thing, of course, up towards admin proper, where the first airdrop will be coming in just a minute's time.
Quite interesting when you start thinking about the airdrop. We've historically seen a lot of players kind of leave the on the map, not necessarily take it with them, maybe take a couple of shots and not necessarily finding value, but keeping it out of hands of enemy players for SSG as we start to filter in towards that admin area. You think about who's going to be over there. We still do have Nightmare and FaZe, the teams that did have the tier 1 spawns on the outside of admin. And they will not be able to get a tier 1 spawn when we go to Brakkesh when we have our first Mandel Brick game. You can't trigger them back-to-back like that.
Exactly. Well, it's a stalemate, as we've seen so many times before, up in and around the admin area. FaZe have fallen back towards that east side of admin proper. But of course, one thing is fighting over admin and the loot that you can get here, which of course, I mean, at this point in the game have been pretty much scavenged already. The thing is, from now, you're kind of fighting over the elevator extract. One of few proper for like full team extracts on this map that you want to maintain control of the entryway to it, as the airdrop, as we see here, those come down. Who is gonna make a run for it now?
Ooh. As we see our players start to maybe make movements toward it.
You'd have to imagine that Nightmare's gonna jump on out. Send one out at least and go for it.
You're definitely considering it.
Just trying to bait some attention, see if they can lure anyone, reveal some positions off of it. Of course, smart to have the D-Wolf there and enable the ult. Get ready for the run on forward. Shoots the Hawk out of the sky now. Make the run on over. There's a smoke to work with as well. Should be an easy enough take up. Let's see what he's going to be able to get.
Get all
That's the M82.
of the goodies. Here comes the ammo.
M82
And so far, no
safely in the
issues.
pocket. Yep. No, he's good. He's safe.
I was curious if maybe the timing would work, but no, you hop on it with efficiency. Now see if they're going to pull it out, maybe take some shots. Because I would say this is around the time of when the fighting really unlocked in yesterday's matches. It started kind of about halfway through the map, and of course, we are just about like 7 minutes or so. We did see that LSZ, their favorite weapon was the compound bow, and well, you know, I see you.
Yeah, Mick. Fielding the compound bow here once again, as we now see Evil Geniuses. They've actually opted to go up towards admin proper, sat on that western side of it, looking to try and see if they can get a third-party opportunity going in, which could very well be the case. SSG, they found their way inside the admin building proper as well. They are still down in the basement, but you'd have to imagine that any moment now they'll be making their way upstairs, where they would be running right into the open arms of Nightmare.
Keep tabs on that for sure. For LSE, it seems like they're kind of camping the extract down below once it unlocks. Will W Key Forever decide to kind of break out and fight? Have they found something? When you look at the profits that we've seen thus far, LSE has 1.4 mil, W Key Forever just over 400K. It's kind of one of those things, like, do we see our teams today pull an FX like yesterday and just focus on kind of extracting out of some of our matches and building up on those squad points, or are we just going to fry? Because Killzall on your screen right now wants to do just that.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. Well, we'll see what's going to end up being the case here as Killzall continuously creeping further forward. No one opting to go for wall breaker missions. No one really wanting anything that's too distracting here. Just setting up fights, waiting for opportunities to get a good third-party engage on in. As Articuno, I love the fact that he is using the bird here to check behind them as well. I mean, they're the ones kind of creeping in to set up a third party, but how many times have we seen it before that a team comes creeping on in thinking they got a good thing going just to be fourth party themselves as well? And Dio realizing now that he was a little bit too late to the airdrop.
Hey, all you can do is check. You can just check it, hope for the best. We will have another airdrop incoming in about 50 seconds. We do know that we'll get some high value supplies, right? But yesterday it was just kind of solid golds off zero dam, no reds. But it still kind of pad the profits a little.
Oh, definitely. We did see some pretty decent rewards coming out yesterday. We'll see what more we're going to get with it today, as Liquids here, Fade of Ice, just chilling. They, of course, know that the airdrop is going to be coming in, so waiting to see if anyone's going to make a run for it. I think they have a pretty good angle in the positions they're set in to try to keep track of what's happening. As you can see here, exactly. They're waiting for somebody to come looking this way.
Yeah, and you got major substation action over there with W Key Forever. Will they kind of double down to see? For now, SSG still kind of dealing with Nightmare, right? Like, you knew they were going to potentially pop up right on them, but hyper aware of that for W Key Forever. They get the airdrop. Does LSZ kind of go to hit the peek out? You know they got compound bow, so they've got about that range, right?
Exactly. They definitely do. Get yourself a gold bottle disc as well. What more are we going to be giving ICD? And okay, so nothing overly fancy by any stretch of the imagination, but at least small enough reds that you can squeeze them in that safe box and get yourself at least something guaranteed for the round to come.
All right, we got the Silver Wing drone back up in the sky, and they are just looking at this. probably kind of formulating a plan of how we want to approach this. Do we see WKF after they basically grab this? Do we dive down towards the extract? They've rotated into mid-map. They could go south, but I think LSZ is banking on someone hitting the extract, them killing them and taking their loot and leaving instead.
And that's the thing for FaZe now as well, right? I mean, they're sat on the elevator extract on that north side of the map, but they aren't in a position to really activate it themselves either. So they're waiting, hoping, I suppose, for somebody in admin to up to pop it so that they can take it, or maybe even better, sit here, wait around for that same team to come over here, then take them out, grab themselves some loot, and then hop out themselves. But for the time being, it's very, very, very quiet, pretty much all over the map. A few smokes have been deployed just to get yourself some loot guaranteed. But WK Forever, they're coming in underground right now as well. And SSG is still sat down there. It's going to be too easy, who is sat in position of holding behind. And I think it's going to be on him to feed the info across that WK Forever is making their way straight towards him.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I mean, yesterday we had the battle breakout in Major Substation. It could be admin here today for SSG, who's been biding their time, waiting to see if they can do it. We thought it would be Nightmare, but it's going to be WKF.
We have 4 teams sat right on top of one another here. It's so incredibly packed in this position. You have Evil Genius outside looking in. You have Nightmare set upstairs, kind of holding the staircase itself. And then you have SSG and WK Forever all downstairs. And they know full well that if they take this fight proper, they need it to come to a close immediately. Because if not, you will have Nightmare sprinting down the stairs to take off any wounded players.
And I'm immediately like looking around. We got SSG who's got the Raptor. So you have kind of that EMP access. You have Equal on Nox. You've got a Whirling Disc. So I'm like, what kind of utility are we going to be throwing back and forth? Managing your cooldowns will be expected here for Articuno as well. You saw the Whirling Disc try to come through, and he immediately has to back away down the stairs. Holding that will be powerful, but EG, even them trying to show face.
And with the fight taking place on the west side of the building, that allows for Spacestation Gaming to get upstairs over towards the east. In the meantime, FaZe has actually opted to fully leave this position. They're going down towards the major substation now, realizing, you know what, we don't really want any piece of this. We've gotten what we wanted up here, which is not a whole lot. They're still set below 1 million total assets earned. So weren't able to really get a whole lot, despite the fact that they got that tier 1 spawn early on. But they've opted to look south. And in the meantime, almost the rest of the server is now fighting over admin with just 5.5 minutes left to work with.
I am just going to sit here and wait. He's just wants someone to peek that corner, and he's going to lose it when that happens.
Let's see. Loco's ready, holding the door. It's waiting this one out alongside Momo. They're sat here ready and waiting. And then Equal, with the recently picked up rifle in hand, finds one with the M82, and that's a shutdown on Skies.
Why did I just have such a degen response to that? I'm just like, oh, I just turned into an absolute gremlin. Snipers are in action. Sky's still on the ground, and SSG turning that word of domination and into a little bit of a regain here on Zero Dam. You can see kills all in 2 easy kind of snap into action. It's how do we control the siege, because that usually is the pick that will open the door for a team to push up. But the way we're kind of split through these corridors, it's going to be really difficult for them to immediately full send, because we saw at the distance from that pick.
Exactly. Okay, so this is interesting. So the reason that FaZe opted to go all the way down to the substation, which makes perfect sense in hindsight, is the fact that they wanted to activate the extract. We were just talking about it. They were sat up there going, okay, so somebody else got to activate it for us, then we take them out. No one did. No one came their way either. And they're like, great, so if no one else is going to do it, we got to do it ourselves, I suppose. And they will activate it, now make their way back towards the extract proper, as Equal will get the finish on Sky. So 800,000 alloy garnered for the boys Nightmare.
Very nice. And no, they were kind of really banking on someone else triggering it so they could activate it and make sure they steal it. But too easy. Gets caught for a second, and Equal holding the angles. I am so curious at how reserved this has been. By this time, and just yesterday for Zero Dam, we had already lost out on multiple teams. We're just about 3 minutes 30 left into Zero Dam, and all of our teams still on the map.
It's almost kind of impressive that they haven't fought hard, given how close they are. But now, I mean, they're getting squeezed, pinned closer to one another by the second, with so many more teams opting to join on in, and now they are pretty much as close as can be towards one another, equal, holding an arrow angle here still with the sniper in hand. Oh, the timing is off by just a split second. Does spot one the second time around, but it's going to be Crab in return, taking him out.
And when you whiff like that, that is so tough for Nightmare. Equal down, equal out, and Nightmare have been wiped. WKF grabbed 2 of those kills. And reminder, guys, it's vital. 800K value for each of that, plus a kill point.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Big rifles to be picked up as well. We'll see who gets the better of it, who gets that M82 in hand. Articuno now holding outside. SSG has made their way around here, and this is first and second place, respectively, fighting out in the open. Kills a port in the open, goes down to low HP, will be taken out by Articuno as well. Flush 2, so that's going to be him down and out. SSG down to just 1 now. Too easy. Sat holding this narrow angle around the catwalk, trying to make something happen on his own, while WK Forever still on the perimeter of the admin building here, trying to hold off, and Peaky able to get one. That's Articuno gone down as well, so WK Forever really the ones being rewarded here.
They are truly just trying to reap this lobby and rack up as many kills. I do think that Evil Genius grabbing 2 and looking for a reset here is vital in getting everyone back up.
Oh, yeah.
I would like to see SSG kind of maybe third party this, because at this point you only have less than 2 minutes. You might as well, but you can see WKF just keeps on full, sending Peaky, trying to find Loco if he can. And look at Seabots there from the back. A perfect play.
WK Forever living up to their name, and while that's going on, FaZe completely butchering Liquids outside in the container area. Will jump down, will find the last. That's going to be Crap finding 1, as a matter of fact, taking fights on multiple fronts now, as Liquids will be eliminated too. So just like that, in a blink of an eye, we go from full lobby still alive to just 2 full teams left in this one. Of course, too easy from SSG is still in the game, but now for FaZe Clan, they got to figure, do we continue fighting outside, or do we make a run for the extract that we have activated? Only 30 seconds left before that's going to go. Wow.
Okay. The chaos is here. You see Peaky there. Down, Seabots and Crab, left to a duo. Can we recover? But there's not that much time left, so you might as well focus on racking up as many kills as you can for FaZe. They've reunited across the way and are diving straight towards that extract up north. Except for Mr. Dio God. He's left alone.
Yeah, he was
duke it out.
Kind of playing in position of, I'm going to defend this. I'm going to allow for my 2 teammates to get out safely. And indeed, they do. 2 of the FaZe players do get out. We wanted FaZe to get off to a good start. Well, they have here for sure. 2 players able to get to safety. Dio got able to get the final one on WK Forever as well. So while he might not extract, that's another 800,000 Technic alloy secured for the round to come. And now too easy. The last solo left on the side of SSG. The last 2 players left alive here with just 15 seconds left to work with. Who will be the lone survivor on Zero Dam? The jump on over the top spots him down below, and it's gonna be SSG out victorious. Too easy finds himself his 2nd kill of the game as Zero Dam comes to a close.
Look, if you're going to go out the last 5 seconds, racking up another kill point for SSG, getting yourself another 800K, you are doing what needs to be done for SSG. It's kind of mitigating a less than ideal game for them, because you know coming into this, anything less than perfect for them isn't really going to be acceptable for SSG. So I think we raised that floor a bit and made, you know, something happened for a mediocre game.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very quiet start to it. Everyone playing it very careful, I think is the right word to use. I'm sure the community will be using other words that are synonymous with certain small animals that will be hiding in corners here and there, but they were sat playing.
It do be like that.
I mean, you know, when you're up against the caliber lobby like this, I do not fault you for taking a more defensive approach to it. Also, I think all the teams, when we hit the halfway point in the game up and around admin, were well aware of how many teams were around them. I mean, we saw it. It was a powder keg just waiting to explode, and nobody wanted to be in the center of that explosion. But WK Forever, well, they were, and they get out of there with 6 kills to boot as well. 1 million in assets also able to be garnered. Good job on their part.
No, I think that's brilliant, right? We saw them kind of get into a lot of action, and I was curious what was going to happen with them when they were kind of in major substation. You had LSZ that was kind of hanging down by that southern extraction point, waiting to see, would WK Forever dive down there? No, they head up to admin, they get into the action, grab 6 kills, and FaZe Clan, we needed them to have a strong start. You also mentioned it there towards the end to grab 4 kills and to send 2 players out to give them just under a mil extracted with. Look, great work for them. Evil Geniuses rack up 2, couple of kills across the board for LSZ, though, a team that needs to perform to a top level here today.
For sure.
Not the best start for them on Zero Dam, but it's okay because we're just getting started.
Oh, indeed we are. Indeed we are. Looking forward to see what WK Forever will be bringing here in the day. They get off to a great start, and oftentimes the teams that come off to the greatest start on Zero Dam tend to be able to bring some of the momentum and some of the, I mean, obviously weaponry that they've been able to purchase off of a good round start into that first Brakkesh. And if that means they also come up with the first mantle break on Brakkesh, then all of a sudden we're looking at a WK Forever team that is going to be very scary.
Ooh, okay. Some asset earners. We see it. If you're going to grab those assets, that's the best way to go around it. WK Forever as well, throwing a player in there. But our round 1 MVP is going to be L Snows from FaZe. Grabs 2 KP, plenty of assets, and just plays it really nicely there towards the end. And you have to think, because FaZe really wasn't in a lot of those engagements early on. Like you said, they were kind of camping that extract just up north, waiting for someone to bring the action towards them. And what do they have to do? They're like, all right, fine, we're gonna go pull the lever, we're gonna go activate it, and if someone wants to fight us, great. No, then they have to extend back out and bring the chaos to everyone else.
Also a pretty brave decision in the fact that they do end up going down to the substation to act or to pull the lever on it, because while they're gone, another team could have come in and taken the position away from them. So all of a sudden they would be the ones helping out a team in doing what they were effectively hoping another team would be doing for them. But a interesting finish, a powder kick again. Admin tends to be that way. It blew up, and it blew up quickly as we got that one through to an end. But now with the first airdrop round over, we are going to be heading over to the first mantle break round of the day in Brakkesh in just a few. So stick around. We're going to take a quick break, but see you in just a few.
Members, now the odds are in their favor, 2v1. Everything getting spammed away, and MT getting a little... So hang on a second, NL! Look at that! It's an absolute swing! This... And LG's gotta know that they're here. Lines them up, even through the shot. You're nuts! For the last remaining 3 BOV, they find 2 instant knocks. The Helm's gonna be hopping out for that.
got the mantle bricks. Find and stop them. Mantle bricks decoded. Nice work, operator.
The time to strike is now. Do not let me down, operator.
Decoding has begun. Defend the area.
Is about to take the first
What? The brick of the tournament. What? They're going to do it.
What goes around comes around.
Oh, not gonna do very much. Oh. You get barrel stuff. Skydie is getting aggressive.
See what I did there? You ain't seen nothing yet.
Let's knock them off their feet.
There we go. So much damage, and there it is.
An action-packed start to the day over on Zero Dam as we now make our way towards Brakkesh for the first and, well, only air supply and Mandel Brick round coming up in just a few. Welcome back, everyone, to the Rise Series here for Americas. We are at the halfway point of the group stage with teams now starting to figure what can we do to surpass the expectations, to surpass the two titans set on top right now in Evil Geniuses and Spacestation Gaming.
Yeah, as we kind of look around, everyone seems like we are... Wait, is that a Christmas tree? I'm sorry, Jade Advise, we still got the Christmas tree out, my man? Not a single ornament in sight. We are just prepped. We are poised and ready. You know what? Maybe it's just a nice little elegant decor, and we are just that excited. We haven't even gotten through Halloween yet. Maybe it's a Halloween tree.
Could be a Halloween. I did not know that was a thing, but look to the US for making up new weird holidays, I suppose.
I've seen some crazy things out here. Okay, look, I'm just outside of Atlanta. The people down here go crazy with their decor. I can't compete.
That is funny. Well, WK Fiber, they find it funny as well. They find themselves in that first place overall. Of course, no bricks to be found so far, so it's all about those squad points, which they've gotten themselves 10 of as we now look towards Brakkesh for what is guaranteed to be a great one as well, and for anyone to come out victorious here and a chance at potentially getting that 4-round win. We're taking a look at the operators here. A lot of D-Wolves being expended there to start things off. A couple of Toxics as well. 3 Toxics used over on Zero Dam 2.
Yeah, nice. Get them out. Hey, if you don't want those for later, we do typically see people burn their Nox on those non-Mandel Brick rounds, but with this being our first Mandel Brick plus an airdrop, obviously our most popular operators that we've witnessed are the Uluru, Raptor, but now when you kind of think about it, it's Gizmo and Morse as well. You definitely need to get that information. It's going to help you a lot. Plus, we want to see some tier 1 spawns for our teams. We noticed just yesterday the teams that were in New Tower of Babel spawns kind of poked around at each other and kind of showed up to the party late. The potentials, though, as you saw, Nightmare and FaZe Clan have tier 1s over on Zero Dam. They will not be able to replicate it, but when you look at the tier 3 spawns, I'm kind of okay with those, right?
Yeah.
You kind of have that area up on the north. You have quick rotations down to Royal Museum in which that Mandel Brick will spawn.
Definitely, definitely. And also, of course, important to mention that we got more giveaways coming your way. We promised it coming into the show, and well, we're here to deliver. So before round 2, which is right now, there's going to be another giveaway. Watch your screen for redeemable code to unlock the SR3M Combat Ready skin. It's an incredible one on your screen right now. It only has 25 redemptions, so you have to get your code activated immediately because, well, it's probably gone already.
It probably is, honestly. They're so quick with it in chat. We see you guys.
Yep.
Thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with us here in the Americas. Curious who you guys are pulling for. Are you going for the domination that SSG is looking to bring, or are we kind of pulling for people like FaZe, the Brazilian roster, who needs to break out of that mid-pack and really kind of ice in? Honestly, speaking of that, I'm looking as well at that LSZ roster.
Yeah.
After that Zero Dam performance, they need to lay down the pain. But we break into Brakkesh, we look at our spawns, and it is LSZ and SSG who do get the New Tower of Babel spawns. WKF and Evil Geniuses will be at Royal Museum with the tier 1.
Exactly. Fighting early on, of course. It does take a little bit before the brick itself spawns out in the fountain, so they'll be stalling for just a moment before potentially going and taking it over. Also interesting that SSG doesn't opt to do any sort of looting in Tower of Babel at all. We've seen it a lot of times where the teams that land down there, they'll take that initial skirmish to then turn their attention north. But SSG, they're eyeing one thing only. They want that break under their control.
Definitely do. Solid purples all the way around. You can see the expenditures coming through. Luru's on a majority of our rosters. A couple of Raptors as well. Some Gizmos across the way. But let's go ahead and check in with Articuno.
Right before deployment, my biggest thoughts are win, get the brick, and get up.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Win, get brick, get out. That's perfect here for Brakkesh, right? Win, get brick, get out. You've already taken down one member of W Key Forever, which means you're pulling this into a 3v2. Can we finish it off? You send the drone on up. We try to get information on where the rest of the players are. And do we have early access to that brick?
I just gotta respect how he makes it sound so easy. If I just knew it was that simple, I would have been a pro player as well.
Instead, we're here yapping. We are. But for Evil Geniuses, you know what they've done? They're going to be the ones that pick up the brick early on. They run it to the nearest decoding station, immediately get it in, throw that 4 minutes up on the clock. Here's the best part about this, guys. We've seen just how easy this is to defend. It took players coming in at the very last moment to go ahead and steal it out. We don't have a lot of Tempest. You're going to see those later when we get over towards Space City. So your engineers are going to be pretty impactful. I'd love to see some incendiaries be used properly to kind of isolate and then just siege it.
Yeah, the big util is going to be coming out. And of course, this particular decoding station is so hard to push because not only, of course, are you fighting the team defending the brick, but it's such a narrow corridor of trying to get inside here that you're going to be fighting all the other teams going forward as well. So by the time you make your way to the brick itself, well, you're most likely down to just 1 or 2 players, and you're going to be very, very wounded on your gauntlet run to come there. So nice on Evil Geniuses to position themselves the way that they do. Are they playing the balcony outside? I think they are, rather than the small room on the inside.
We'll look towards their breakdowns. There goes out. Let's see if we can go ahead and connect. Now, here's the deal with Evil Geniuses. In their groups B and C showing in week 2, they grabbed Mandel Bricks on Brakkesh and then in Space City Game 4 to end it in a 4-game series. And they were the ones to immediately jump on the brick. We are guarding it. SSG, though, the domination inside them wanting to lay siege, are 2 heavy hitters already facing off. And we still have 2 minutes and 30 seconds. EG, they fall. Articuno on the ground. It's Skies that picks it up. And now SSG is going to work to break them down. More util going back and forth.
If SSG weren't hungry already, now they know it's the second seed team that's on the break already. So they're definitely making a run for it and claiming it already down to 3:30. We started that, of course, should be stolen over again. It's going to go down to 3, so on and so forth, all the way down to a 1:30 start. As now SSG, the ones in control, but they're also in kind of an awkward position trying to defend here. They still have a team outside on the balcony proper, and they are surrounded by teams on the backside of them too, so they need to clear out this position, which will be them in a head-on fight against the Evil Geniuses. Skies finds one, but Mumu is there for the trade.
And you need that trade now with Mumu here. Does have to ice up. You can see him jiggle peeking through this with Too Easy on the other side. We're split and we cannot focus on all of them. And SSG kills all, deals the finishing blow to wipe Evil Geniuses. Just under 3 minutes left on the decode, but you can see that we need to try and recover the fallen teammate and be a team of 3, because you know who shows up. FaZe is going to want to get involved. They're just on the north side of Royal Museum here and are looking for an opening.
Yeah, FaZe, I mean, obviously they don't know exactly how things transpired on this side of the map, but if they knew that they had SSG down to 2 on the inside of this building, they would, I'm sure, have immediately gone aggressive for this position itself, but not able to get to this position quickly enough, as Killsoul will get the allure all lopped on over. Unfortunately for them, I don't think you get a fight against SSG in better position with all of them trapped in one small room, but at least for them, they do get the steal on the brick, so we now started at 3. FaZe in control.
FaZe showing up big today thus far. Just under 3. Can we hold it down? You see the airdrop as well. Definitely going to go that way. Let's see what we pull from it. I see some .338 ammo. Let's get it in their hands, and there we go. What can Nightmare do with that? We saw them go big with 0 dam and the M82 with Equal finding some nice shots. This could open the door for them.
Now the golden arm in hand. We'll see what they can make of it, as they will, I could only imagine, with the rifle in hand, make their way closer towards a potential fight for the brick as well. Seeing that it has been stolen over so many times already, they're probably going to be expecting to have a little bit of time to work with and try to make the run on forward. As Dio jumps on in, still facing control here, not in too much of an aggressive position to try and defend. Probably expecting the teams around them to be fighting one another a bit harder, but WK Forever sat downstairs. They actually haven't really done a whole lot to engage just yet. So it is effectively only the Space Station Gaming set upstairs.
And there we go. The steal back for SSG. Kind of a silent one, right? You just kind of go in under the radar. You can see where FaZe is just like peeking through the hallway. Can we get it back? They are biding their time.
We're chilling. I mean, again, as long as it keeps getting stolen over, it's like, why do we bother popping up and try to be part of the chaos if we can have them fight one another, get wounded, hopefully take some casualties, and then at the last minute, we will come up, take the fight with, you know, full Kevlar, full helmets, and all players still up and alive. Nice little pick up there for Poppy. Great half mil in the back. Good Reds being lobbed on up, and good for Liquids that they're able to do this as well, because they have completely given up any idea of going for the brick. It seems they're still down towards Babel, so getting looted on up. Only now is J-Device and Meg actually making their way out of the tower proper.
I was going to say, with LSZ, they had that new tower Babel spawn, but also so did SSG. SSG full sends at the start of this match to go up towards Royal Museum, play for the brick. LSZ's like, I've got the full tower, and I'm going to make so much use of it. North of 2 mil in profits, and they are now on their way north, like you stated, for SSG. Just over 1 minute left on the Mandel brick, and plenty of teams alive here wanting to siege it.
Yeah, I'd have to imagine that it's going to be stolen over at least one more time. FaZe in one of the best positions to try and make that exact thing happen. A lot of good off angles to try and set up a crossfire here, as Lucas will activate the elevator there to try and maybe bait some attention, but no one biting.
Go kills all. Take that out and hold the angle behind here. More util trying to suss him out if they can for Dio God. The cross as they do the split here to set up the pinch.
30 seconds.
Half health, destroying the util, and Mr. Dio God still holding the angle. If the incendiaries keep kills all from getting out of this building, he's not going to be able to go through the room. FaZe swipe the Mandel brick.
Yeah, the floor is lava, and that's the issue of the position that SSG is trying to defend from. When you're limited to just that one door, all it takes is one well-placed molly or smoke, and it's going to make it very hard for you to really cover properly, where FaZe has a little bit more space to spread out over on their side. 2 different corridors from where they can engage from. We get the overworld activated here once again, not finding its target as we're down to 130 now. FaZe still in control here, but now we have more teams joining the party.
Welcome, LSZ. Bring that Saniva on in here. You get behind the shield. Will we see another fun grapple play like we witnessed from Team Liquid yesterday? For now, SSG holds the decode. But there's so much action as Nightmare descends. Now, mind you guys, Nightmare grabbed the airdrop. Nightmare has an so will they take an off angle through a window like we witnessed on Zero Dam? There's a good chance, but it's something to be privy of because FaZe threading the needle with the frags out on all the util going forth. 1 minute left, and the Saniva, once this incendiary is done, may walk up.
Imagine, though, that is such a risky play. Goes for the grapple, not able to get anything with it now. 50 seconds left on the code again. Still SSG in control here, but SSG right now is relying somewhat heavily on other teams helping them out in this position. But as you can see, Liquids, there's that right across from FaZeland. FaZeland want to fully turn their attention to SSG, but they can't really, because LSC is here as well. They do find the first. Elsno goes down. He was the one that made the aggressive play to try and claim it before. This time around won't be possible.
See, this is tough, right? Because SSG has the decode. If LSZ and FaZe are fighting, this is a perfect storm for SSG. They're just going to be like, yeah, okay, great. Take each other out. You're staring at each other across the balcony. And WKF takes a knock on to Nightmare. The trade's going back and forth with SSG getting involved towards LSZ.
He gets
it. And only 2 players up.
Saniva able to claim it, but SSG finding a lot of knocks with this position. Yes, they sure lose the initial decoding, but they take so many players down, and that should they opt to go for it again, they're going to be golden, because look at the players alive on the left-hand side. They immediately steal it back, and now they're sat with all throw up. Nightmare do manage to get 1 up as well, so 2 teams and 3 players full.
You can see WKF do get back to a team of 3 as well, regaining on the low. FaZe down there as Mr. Dio God is potentially trying to hit a recovery. It's going to take a bit longer, but a team of 3 will be vital here for SSG, though. Back on that decode, back to the 1 minute mark. What are our cooldowns looking like? You can see Skies trying to put the drone in his eyes to make sure what is going on. Too Easy, on the other hand, is just taking shots at LSE with WKF back in the fight.
Yep, LSE are full on eliminated, same as Evil Geniuses were earlier in this one, but SSG take casualties as well. Killsoul called downstairs, went aggressive, was trying to clear them out, successful in doing so, but loses his life for it now. SSG down to just the 2. It's going to be very hard for them to get downstairs and get the rest on up as the molly comes in. The Incendiary spreads out almost across the entire outside pad, and it's going to make it very hard for them to defend, but we're down to under 30 seconds.
Too Easy, about to get pushed here. Does have to drop it. And in between the Incendiaries, trying to work alongside Skies to stay healthy. Will the distraction between the multiple teams come into benefit for them? But Nightmare is healthy. Nightmare on the outside. But we are just at 10 seconds. And it is stolen. W Key Forever moves in to seize the Mandel Brick.
Just in time, they steal it over. But look at that. They're taking casualties immediately thereafter. Just 1 left alive on their side now as FaZe again being very patient in this one, and it might just be rewarded for it. Playing slow towards the Skies. Trying to defend from inside here as well. Space Kid even more with the Piggy gone down. Crap gone down as well. Here comes the full-on push from Nightmare. They're able to find Skies. First one's gone down. Just 1 more left to be found on the side of SSG. Should be able to clear him out, and indeed they do. SSG will get eliminated.
Not the strong start that SSG was looking for, and they had so many chances, but now FaZe back in the hands of controlling the Mandel Brick. A true 3v3 with WKF down to just a solo. Who is going to get the brick, Nightmare or FaZe?
Big close battle, that's for sure. FaZe in control with it right now as the entirety of Nightmare make the run around. And remember, I mean, even if W Key Forever down to just 2, still a chance that they get big impact in this fight to come. Speaking thereof, Seabot's already found in the first one. That's Diogod gone down.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, there's the arm in hand as well. Piggy falls as well, so casualties on multiple fronts.
Worth it for Nightmare to grab the airdrop up north. I said keep your eyes on Equal because this could happen. And now W Key Forever finds themselves unable to push down the corridors back towards the FaZe and Nightmare battle. Equal on it, hits the steal, back to 1 minute 30 seconds, and FaZe still trying to recover.
Of course, for any new viewers out there wondering, there is a world where we get the timer reset when we are below 1 minute 30 in the match timer itself proper. In that case, we won't have the game continue just because the brick is still being decoded. Then we will not have anyone get rewarded with the brick in the round. So there is a world where if this kind of gets reset time and time again a couple more times, then we are potentially seeing no one get away with it. But with the time being this low on the brick itself, you'd have to imagine that somebody's going to get away with it real soon as we get 1 more shot connected. It's once again Equal finding the knock with the arm in hand.
3 bullets in the chamber left to go down these angles, and still 40 seconds on the clock. Elsnose hits the toes.
I like it.
But doesn't grab a knock.
Aggressive defensive positions here. We've seen it time and time again. The team, when they're out on that balcony, when they have control over it, are going to play it from outside themselves. But now they've allowed one inside. I mean, FaZe able to sneak on in. I thought they were going to play aggressively on it. They do now, but it's a bit too late. FaZe have been able to reset it. Elsno will go down, though, in return of this one. Nightmare still 3 left alive for their down versus a 2-man FaZe team.
He is fully out, so 3v2, but Nightmare has to hop on the decode. Mind you, you shouted out the timing, and with Mr. Dio God down, what are we going to do? A 3v1. I don't think you're going to have time for the reset because I know Nightmare is going to hop on this.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They're going to go full on aggressive with it. You'd have to imagine that is going to be the case. Nightmare already sitting in a good position coming into this one. 1.6 mil in the back already as well. Of course, everyone else getting eliminated, not able to extract with a whole lot. They're looking to get properly rewarded with a win here. Just 1 minute. Sudoka wants to get the rest up on Diogod, but he's sat too far away to really be able to make that happen. What do you do here? 1 versus 3. Tries to make the vault around. Will be able to get out on the balcony and try to make the wrap, but it's just, I mean, it's what do you do in a 1v3 here?
You look for the information, you have 45 seconds, right? So this is going to be difficult. They're not going to let you take individual 1v1s against them. As soon as you peek and have that first fight, the EMP connecting is going to keep you at bay for a bit longer. Nice little hop around. and hit that so you can deal with that. Good painkillers, and
Are they
I
actually
just
gonna
don't
go?
know how much you can do. Like,
Yeah.
genuinely.
Are they actually? Now the Molly comes in as well. They know exactly where he's playing. There's a world where you get the rest up, but the time it will take is going to be too much for you to get out of this one alive anyway, so you might as well just concede, and I think that's exactly that's what's going to happen. Sudoka is going to make the run on off. Nightmare will be rewarded with the Brakkesh brick as they come out victorious here. What a hard-fought battle. That brick changed hands so many times through this entire game, and Nightmare, the ones coming out with it in the end.
Definitely well earned, and you have to
yeah.
kind of think about their strategy, right? They dive up into the north. They have that tier 3 spawn, but what did I tell you about those spawns, right? I'm like, they're just as good. It's not a bad rotation. Instead, you go up north, you focus on the airdrop. You have to imagine that a team is obviously going to jump on the Brick and Royal Museum. So many people have been using that decoding station just there, and with that AWM, the hitting so hard on those sight lines, but I do respect FaZe looking for an additional kill. However, will fall, giving Equal a 3-kill streak. 7 kills alongside
Insane.
a Mandel brick for this Brakkesh round was exceptional.
Absolutely incredible performance by Nightmare. Also super cheeky that as soon as they get the breakdown, Equal literally just sends it north, knowing full well Sudoka backed off. There's a solo player left alive. He's going to go for the backpackless extract. You know what? I'm going to go cut him off because there's only really one direction he's going to be coming from, and he sat there, waited for him. Look at his health bar. He barely survived that, but he will be able to get out alive with even more to go in the round to come. They get the arm save as well. I mean, for Nightmare, they literally could not have had a better round on this Brakkesh.
Yeah. Yeah, hands up, just did that. Like, absolute cinema. Brilliant start for them here. I don't know what this is going to look like. If we're going to go 5, we're going to go 6. Regardless, the strategy that is coming out from them is everything you need. Now we can just kind of coordinate that ammo into our safe box, maximize the value that we're going to have. Of course, as we leave here in just under a second, great work for Nightmare.
Definitely. Incredible performance. They got a lot to be proud of over that one again. I mean, coming into the day, they're sat pretty low down the leaderboard overall, tied with FaZe in a mid-pack, sure, but still a bit of a jump on up to the double digits pack we've got from 7th place and up. So if they can catch up to that today, then for the week to come, this would be a huge opportunity for them to turn around what has been a somewhat mediocre start to the group stage.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, right? In a brief look at SSG, they're likely kind of having a powwow at this point because what went wrong in Zero Dam? Just a couple of misplays. We had Kills all taking that off angle, gets caught out, and then you kind of come into Brakkesh and you witness just that crazy action, but at the end, it's Nightmare standing, 7 KP, 2.3 million assets gained, and you get the decode on the brick. They will then go into that match point activated when we get to map 4 Space City.
Exactly. It's been so up and down with Nightmare looking through their performances over the course of the tournament so far. Like last place, then a 2nd place, then a 5th place. I mean, it's been very up and down, but here they are, fortunately for them, performing again, I mean, literally as good as can be expected. 7 kills, they get the break, they get Equal extracted with 1.5 mil as well. Incredible round for Nightmare.
And I do want to shout out Spacestation. Sure, they don't get the decode there, but they walk away with 6 KP. So some nice points and some assets that are going to be earned. Mind you guys, 800K associated with each one of those kills. As we pull up our top killers, it's Equal, it's Lucas, it's Kills all, just kind of padding those numbers. I love to see it.
Love it for sure. The most damage done is going to be DW, so goes to show that just because you're the one getting rewarded with the kills doesn't mean you're always the one doing the most damage. Support DW out here doing a lot of stuff for his team. Has 5 assists as well. Incredible support coming through.
Those are the kind of people that you really need to have,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Exactly. Whether it's you're throwing down the util, making things work, and our top asset earners are going to be Equal there. He does extract with a lot of valuable items there in the north. Of course, FaZe as well picking up. You can see 3 KP for Equal, our round 2 MVP. Plenty of damage, plenty of assets, and W going the way of Nightmare.
Huge game for them as they can now get themselves set up for the next type person to come with a lot of breathing room, so to say, because sure, I mean, they want to get something good out of the tight person round to come, but they are moving into Space City after that with that match point already on lockdown.
Well, I'm excited, Toby, because let's be real. If that was our first Mandel Brick round for Group A and B here in Week 3, I am so ready to see how this goes. It seemed like back all the way in Week 1, just over 2 weeks ago, 15 days, right? So much has changed.
Definitely.
And we see our players stepping up.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Also, just loving the fact that we're seeing every single team try and make a play for the brick in the end of it. I mean, we saw it yesterday. We've seen it in the last couple of weeks as well. A lot of teams being very hesitant in trying to go for the fights. Here, everyone knows the importance of going out and getting it all done. But that's going to be it for Brakkesh for today. We're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, it's time for Tight Prison.
Members, now the odds are in their favor, 2v1. Everything getting spammed away, and MT getting a little... So, hang on a second, NL! Look at that! It's an absolute sweat! This... And LG's gotta know that they're here. Lines them up, even through the shot. You're nuts! For the last remaining 3 BOV, they find 2 instant knocks. The Helm's gonna be hopping off that.
Got the Mandel bricks. Find and stop them. Mandel bricks decoded. Nice work, operator.
The time to strike is now. Do not let me down, operator.
Decoding has begun. Defend the area.
Is about to take the first brick of the tournament, and they're going to do it!
What goes around, comes around.
Oh, I'm not gonna do very much, though. You get barrel stuff. Skydie is getting aggressive.
See what I did there? You ain't seen nothing yet.
Let's knock them off their feet.
There we go. So much damage, and there it is.
Brakkesh coming to an end, and for the entire server, it was a nightmare unfolding as Nightmare able to get themselves not just the brick, but a lot of kills to boot, get themselves the arm and everything else they could possibly hope for to try and skyrocket themselves up the leaderboard coming into the next rounds here as we go over to Tight Prison in just a few.
Yeah, put us into Tied Prison, put us into a regain. If you need just a moment to breathe going in as we look at the leaderboard, look at that 1 brick, 8 KP, 7 supply points, a nice movement there. But for SSG, who had a ton of kills on Brakkesh as well, I believe it was 6 in particular, get themselves 13 squad points. So keep your eyes on them, because if they get a brick, they're going to be approaching Nightmare as well. However, airdrop round only, no Mandel brick here on Tide Prison. This was kind of an interesting play that we saw yesterday in our group C and D, and we just saw a lot of kills, but it was definitely the most conservative of the matches as we look at what operators are available.
Bye-bye, Raptor. Well, I guess not for Liquids. They do have one use chef, should they want to use him. But I'm not expecting to see a whole lot of Raptor coming through. We'll see if it's going to be the case or not. See here, Shepard, Nox, Morse as well. I know a lot of people tend to use hack claws here too. We'll see if that's going to be the case or not. And then, you know what? I mean, yesterday, we saw a Luna being used for a team that played outside, which is not something I'd really ever seen before. So maybe we get a little bit more spicy operator choices coming in here today. As I have never really, honestly, seen that entire hillside being fought over at all in comp play. But it was yesterday. Maybe it will be again today.
Hey, to be fair, FX's Uemura did grab 3 kills off that, and we saw the pain get hit down on Leviathan. The value in Luna was there for him. However, in terms of our spawn predictions, you can see Evil Geniuses and WK Forever did get the tier 1 spawns. They will not be on the table to get it here for Tide Prison. So keep your tabs on everything else. Plus, when you get back to that Mandel Brick round in Space City in round 4, you're golden. You're back eligible for those tier 1 spawns. For this, just focus on getting your kills, your assets up, and then we go into that Space City marathon after this.
Curious to see if we get any double usage of any of the operators here as well. We know that Nox, again, operator that a lot of people like to use on this map. Curious to see how many exactly we're going to be seeing. Also, if anyone's going to be fielding any goals at all. We haven't seen any, huge reds come through. Also, a lot of people haven't really been able to extract, so I don't think economy is there for them to really invest that big into this one. And also, would you really do it when it's Tide Prison, or are you saving that big money for the Space City to come? I think that's what you're doing. As we see here, oh my lord, there's more Nox on that operator chart than anyone else.
Yep. This is what we kind of saw yesterday, right? A lot of Nox is being expended. I thought I saw 37% in the operator pick rate moving into this, but keep tabs. You got FaZe down there just north of the reservoir, and Nightmare kind of running straight towards each other, wanting to get the high value items here inside. For the teams up in the north, you got Evil Geniuses, LSZ out towards the west. Util. Because they fear each other, let me tell you that much.
Oh yeah, for sure. They're well aware they're sat just over on the other side. As you're saying, there's a lot of loot available, but they're spawning on each their side of the precious one down on the southern side here. See, WK Forever already getting active, getting themselves a bottle of champagne. Don't want to open it too soon though. There's still a lot to be fought over here.
All right, for Killzall, going to be locking in that Nox. You can see everyone's on purples. We didn't really see gold start to come out until Space City Game 4, where people are like, oh, we finally have Econ. We're good now. And then it ended yesterday. So we're still on the purples. You're right. Couple Noxes, double Nox there for LSZ. J Devise and Poppy going to be locking them in. Killzall is going to be our Nox for SSG. He's likely going to pull out Tempest once we move into Space City. But for now, these corridors, these whirling discs, and then that EMP are going to be really nice to kind of shake some things up.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Also, for those of you guys who might not know the layout of Tide Prison too well, when you look at the minimap on the top left going, oh, they're right next to each other, or even seeing on the X-ray here that they're sat very close, it's kind of a maze, Tide Prison. Just because they're close doesn't necessarily mean that they have direct access to one another. Could be that they have to go all the way down the corridor, then go across 3 catwalks and another hallway going down. As you can see, it's so easy. Like, well, I guess we can't go through there. We'll just go back the other way and wait things out. They hear people all over, but it's not always that you have direct access to them because of that.
Definitely, and there are 3 teams in this vicinity of mazes, so they'll likely see who is going to lay lines down first. You can see Mr. Dio God, we're just going to shoot through the doorway as such. For LSZ, have made their way down from the western side, kind of flirting with the reservoir area, so we'll see. They've definitely split off. WK Forever and Evil Geniuses still kind of working their way. Oh, 2 Nox and a Saniva.
That is
a 1.5.
Big pick up for Skies there. Yeah, 1.5 mil pick up. Good red to get locked on in. That is what we're looking for. You can get even spicier than that, but that's a great start to the day here for SSG.
Their squad points are already pretty nice.
Yeah.
Because they've been finding kills. They've got some assets and they've been able to thrust another safe box. The only thing they're missing was that brick, but that's fine because the last time we saw them, they hit a double brick in maps like 5 and 6. So to be expected if we're going the distance for SSG.
Definitely.
But for Nightmare, who already grabbed it. And they just had one player extract. I believe it was equal. For now, kind of starting to realize we're having a lot of people come this way.
So it's like, I'm malfunctioning. There's a lot of people here. 6 enemy operators within a site. You're like, guys, don't move a muscle. They're everywhere.
Help, we are surrounded.
Indeed, they are. No one looking to go active, at least not right now. As things stall out a bit longer again, I mean, I feel like it's kind of ironic that the map where teams are forced the closest towards one another also tends to be the map where teams fight the latest in the game. But of course, again, I mean, not a whole lot of space for you to maneuver, as a shark might be the first one to draw blood here. It's at least on the hunt, but not getting anything. I do like it where the players, I don't say fail to, but at least neglect damage. They just say no. We are the Peace Corps. At least we have sharks to go out and say the opposite.
Yeah, no, the sharks are like, no, thanks. I choose violence. Just bump on the nose and keep going. Isn't it like Shark Week in the US as well? Like, I'm not sure, but I thought I saw something about it. Regardless, we're here on Tide Prison. We're not in Shark Week. Instead, we are in a nightmare, as Nightmare would like to call it.
Oh, yes, exactly. And early Shevat all popped here as well. Not really getting a whole lot with it, but at least denying SSG or keeping them at bay for the time being. As we'll get a little mic check in here with J-Device.
What's going through your head right now, seconds before deployment? Nothing. That's the goal.
Wow, he just like me for real. I knew it. I knew J-Device, me and you. Same. They're different.
Also, that's the goal. Not just nothing. It's the goal of having nothing going through your head right before the game starts. Just full on cold. Cold
a little
red.
troll master. That's our content creator. That's our pro Delta Force player for Liquids. Let's get in there. Now, something to be said about them. They did burn their double knocks. They have a Siniva as well. They had a compound bow. You saw them playing the hill that we witnessed FX on early. But they've also kind of wrapped around throughout the journey up towards the north yet again. And for all of our teams, kind of, oh, hey, Sky's fighting some more big ones. Look. I'm looking for a nice 3 mil plus out of SSG, and they walk away with some kills. It's going to be a very high value round for them.
Very well could be. A little bit of caviar never hurt nobody. Somebody got this from Pain before as well. We're setting up for a pretty extravagant party for the aristocrats, I suppose. As Luke is now just chilling as to be expected in Tide Prison. This is the issue, and you can see it right here. All these open corridors and hallways and catwalks, it's just like as soon as you move out on one, there is just going to be open angles all over. But at least now that we have the extraction, you can see the mission started here. Maybe, just maybe, that's good. That's going to be what's going to cause some of the first fights to take place.
Well, if it's anything like we witnessed in Zero Dam, it's going to take a minute even longer. Like, we'll probably start fighting around the 6-minute mark for our teams. And I'd imagine we're just kind of peacocking around the area, trying to bait someone into pushing them. On the outskirts, we still have players kind of filtering through out on towards the east.
Oh la la.
Where do we go with our airdrop? Okay. I know what we got here.
A little golden arm once again. Seabuds ain't going to be complaining about that whatsoever as he gets to jump across safely over on the other side and joining his teammates.
The best part about this is you're keeping that AWM out of Equal's hands.
Yeah, true.
Because that man does not need more one-shots at this point because he was making the most of them. And W Key Forever want to return to that hyper-aggro state and success we saw on Zero Dam for them.
Yeah, we see Groth continuing forward down towards his nemesis and Raven on the opposite end of things. Should they get that far, we'll see if they get to utilize this or not, as fights will erupt at some point soon. Oftentimes, the team that starts these missions will be able to at least get a little bit of info of it should Roth run into any opponents further down the line, but seems like everyone's kind of cleared the path for him. Coco's chilling.
Another airdrop. Yeah, honestly, we're just vibing, right? And LSZ has been traversing the entirety of Tide Prison, so I'm glad to see them picking up some nice things as well. Out towards the south, they could look to extract out in the reservoir. You know what?
Seabot is like, bro.
I bite.
Bro, I don't wanna waste the arm bullet on this, but come on, man. Ah, yes, around the corner.
I mean, you might as well. You
That
might
was
as well
funny.
get crazy. Look, you throw the arm in the hands of your Vibrant player who's got the movement in place, trying to knock him down and such, but to FaZe we go for now.
Yeah, it's quiet. Once again, another airdrop coming in. This one being the Shoreline one. You can see Liquid sat here ready and waiting for it to come down out of the sky. Speaking of skies, well, here we have SSG looking towards the same hole in the wall that they have been looking at for the last 9 minutes. And still, no one is coming their way.
All is well. 2 sharks in the water. Little Megalodon and little Jaws. And there we go. Meg on the Suniva, bringing it down, getting our goods. I'm just ready to watch the value go up. We hit 1 mil, okay. 1.4, keep it going. Fill that safe box.
Still quiet as the Warden. Oh, okay, the Warden comes out victorious. Raven does fall. So good to see that the prison is in full control as they get him taken down. Raven, ever so dangerous with the roll in hand, tends to take out more players than most players does on this map. Seabot still looking around, trying to see if he can get anything for the face. Not in a hurry to make a move here. Also, I'm kind of curious. I'm going to ask chat this real quick. Could be spicy, could not be, but regardless, would you want to see, now that we have AC3, the new map in play, would you see AC3 replace Tight Prison for seasons to come? Because I must admit, I feel like Tight Prison rounds tend to play out pretty much, well, like this.
Is what it is. Is what it is. But I do love spicy questions, and of course we'll see how it goes. For now, we vibing. Look, we chuckling. We hitting this side by side, wall to wall. Be like, I know you're over there, my friend.
Yep.
Mon ami.
Yep.
My friend is my greatest enemy at this point, I guess, in the game.
They're trying to knife communicate through the wall. Get close to that wall, I dare you. But Eagle's like, nah, bro, I ain't moving over there. You ain't getting me.
No, sir.
He's even smirking as well. Oh, this is funny. They're Morse coding one another going, will you come fight? And it's like, nope, nope, not falling for that one.
Knife fight mid, you won't? WK Forever is like, just someone peek. Just please.
Yep. I wonder how long they're going to stall it out, though, because eventually, I mean, surely they could just stay where they are and all get eliminated, but eventually you'd have to imagine that somebody does something. It's just gonna be a matter of who and when.
I mean, everyone is kind of diving down, as you can see, thanks to this map feed, how we're starting to all enter into the same vicinity with LSZ on that kind of mountaintop that we witnessed FX play from yesterday. And they were looking real fun out there. They walk away with a couple of wipes, but they're keeping their tabs on that entryway, and they do have the compound bows for distance there. For SSG, the stairway is here. 6 kills in last map, which is nice. 2 team wipes. They're gonna want to do some more of that.
Definitely. We're stalling it out for a little while longer as we get the sonar scanning here once again. SSG maybe getting a little bit impatient, or not impatient because they have been very, very patient, but they're getting bored. They want to get something going now, running around, listening for footsteps down below, trying to see if they can get info on anything. And honestly, I mean, with where they're currently positioned, looking at the map from where they are, there are so many dots on that map feed. Let me just look at the X-ray here. You can't really fault these players for being as passive as they are when there are so many players in so close proximity to one another.
Just over 5.5 minutes left in our Tied Prison round. Nice little sonar scan coming through and exposing one another, but the peak is real. Meg's like, come on, somebody do something. Like, please.
You know,
I just want to grapple someone.
Yeah, Meg should be the one moving up. You got a big bat shield. I mean, go up, confront someone, and be like, yo, come over here. We're ready for a fight. In the meantime, Skies, this time not only one enemy operator nearby. Maybe that's going to mean that they do eventually jump through the hole in the wall. Oh, are we curious? No operators. Yeah, here we go. Team comes from SSG. Let's listen in and see what they have to say now that they figure out their space to move forward. I'm imagining that's not Team Comms, because if so, they are so focused, so locked in there, they don't even need to talk to one another. But we've got a good big brawl fighting right now, and that's going to be Momo with the nade finding Skies. The first casualty of Tide Prison falls with just 4 minutes 30 left in the round.
Big knock there to open that fight. SSG wanting to swing things in their favor, but not quite able to. Articuno, on the other hand, being looked down on by Seabots. Will the peak occur? Bro has just been waiting to unleash the Meanwhile, if also coming through for Lucas. And we're still biding our time.
Yep. Still stalling things out. FaZe still on the same ladder that they were on 10 minutes ago. They're just waiting this one out. Under 4 minutes left in the round now. SSG the only ones to go, guys, come on, we got to do something. And as soon as they do, they take a casualty. So maybe it was for good reason that all the other teams were sat still. But Nightmare, they too have had enough of this. They want to go out and get something done. They want to see if there are points to be found on this map.
Of course. I mean, when you think about the long-term effects of this, every kill, not only do you get 1 KP, you get the 800K, but you also get $50 per kill.
True.
So, I mean, that's a pretty big incentive to get active here at this point with 3 minutes left. Equal immediately loses his health, kills all, wants to get wild there on the Nox, make something happen, and you're partnered alongside 2 Easy. We did lose Skies earlier. Back for the check here. Still trying to keep an eye on Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, important to note as well, not really in a position where they're able to go pick him up, because Sky's been technically still restable, but as you can see, he's out there in the open, very hard to get to, especially now that FaZe have made their way into this position as well. Killsol looking across to try and play safe from the other side, but Nightmare still over across, sat here waiting for a potential fight between them and SSG.
Ooh. Okay. Well, with 2.5 minutes left, I'm waiting to see. The fact that we have all of our teams on the map is what is pure insanity to me. And you're right, FaZe just lurking like Spider-Man over there. That's okay.
Finally, the fight's erupting. That's going to be Evil Geniuses taking on and taking out Nightmare down to just 1. No, actually, make that 0. They get completely annihilated. Articuno swings the corner. Loco finds 1 as well. That's them gone down. Oh, Killsol. Little does you know, there's 1 around the corner, but he gets, I get rewarded with him jumping up early.
The best part about that is Silent Assault coming in from EG, trying to make a move. W key forever, though. Seabots down with the is not going to provide them the angle. So LSZ, compound bow in hand, are the ones that are doing it. Crab down from Poppy. And still a 3v1.
Yeah, Seabots goes down as well. Great fighting coming through from Liquids here. It's been a quiet day for them so far, but in this round in particular, they're really popping off, able to get themselves over 2 mil acquired as well. So looking to be a very good round for them here in Tide Prison. Piggy will make the run on off. Solo player left alive on the side of W Key forever as FaZe now trying to set up here. They only have 1 kill so far, but looking to make it even more.
Well, you think back to match number 1 on Zero DMR Eco round. FaZe did extract with 2 players, had some kills, looked pretty nice, right? But here's the deal. We do want to see W Key forever maybe at least net themselves a KP here.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be cool if we could just like dive back in the last 60 seconds and just swarm a fight. Because for Liquids, FaZe, the only 2 teams of 3 on the map. And for now, ooh.
Little in-game communication there for J Device, but not able to see anything with it as the fights do go on. Peggy tried to swing the corner, not able to survive. W Key Forever will be eliminated fully as well. So second team to get proper eliminated as we're down to just under 30 seconds. Everyone going for a final couple of kills here. Again, 800,000 in reward for each and every kill you get, plus the $50 of prize pool. As we see here, Loco trying to get 1. Meg finds 1. That's the Warden gone down, but it's going to be Elsno swinging the corner, finding 1 FaZe. Now good for 1 more as well as they start cleaning up house.
Not what you want to have happen if you're Liquids there. J Device elsewhere kills all. Taking some angles, but we are done. Tide Prison out of here. A look around. A lot of our players are just like, that was an interesting map, right? The pacing, everything a bit slower than maybe what we're typically used to, but Tide Prison playing out to be just kind of an interesting mid Series map.
Yeah, I feel like Tight Prison is like one long loading screen for Space City. At least this time around it was Peggy 2 having to, you know, just go, oh, guys, okay, we're ready. We're ready. Now is when we get to the good stuff. Now we get the Space Cities galore, the Mandel Break fights, all to fight for here in the rounds to come as everyone, because I don't know if you really talk over this Tight Prison of what went down and how things went down, because, I mean, we only see it once. This was here. Evil Geniuses do come out victorious in the end of it. 4 kills for them. I mean, that Articuno and Loco flush on Nightmare, they made that look so easy.
Yeah, they definitely did, and it was kind of that moment where everyone was chilling. And you think about where Evil Geniuses was. They were up in the north. They didn't actually descend down to where everyone was congregating until at least 10 minutes into the map. So to grab 4 kills is great. FaZe walk away with 4 as well. LSZ gets some KP in there, playing from the hill, immediately grab the airdrop, pop on up. Saniva kind of opening their way. Nightmare do get 1 kill, but fall untimely, as well as Spacestation and WKey Forever. WKey Forever do grab the airdrop as well, get the try to find some value in it, but it really doesn't occur for them. So the bounce back is what matters in Space City, the marathon that we're going to be heading towards this, but it's Poppy from LSE that grabbed 2 kills to be our top killer alongside Mr. Dio God and Elsnos.
Yeah, good stuff coming through, of course. Not only the kills themselves, but also the points they're able to garner on your squad point total with... I mean, I'm not expecting more than maybe 2-3 teams to have themselves a break by the end of the day. So if you're able to get yourself a lot of squad points garnered over the course of the day, of course, that's going to help you in those tiebreaker situations. It's going to be probably on top of the board here in these ties. Getting himself an assist on this one as well. But it's J-Device, almost a mil in the back off of that game there, despite not being able to extract.
Okay, we saw them pulling the Reds, throwing them straight into the safe box.
Yeah.
Good moves from them. We'll see what the rounds they bring in for Space City. A lot of our players started to bring in golds once we got to that. Some of them kept purple armor, gold ammo, but we will see for our round 3 MVP, Mr. Dio God himself representing FaZe, 2 KP and some nice value.
Yep, good round for FaZe. Again, I mean, they have, if you just look at the leaderboard exclusively, because the leaderboard obviously doesn't always tell the full story of how a day unfolds in a game of Delta Force, but just leaderboard alone, we put FaZe Clan as an org in any game they participate in to such a high standard that seeing them sat 8th place coming into the day, both you and I say for like, FaZe, we're expecting bigger things, and you know what? I feel like they heard it through the grapevine. They know we gotta step up, we gotta go out and get something done, and I feel like they're coming into Space City now feeling very warm.
Hey, that's exactly what they need to do. We asked that of them at the top of the show, like you said. Now keep performing. We go to the Space City Gauntlet, and I am so excited for it.
It's going to be good. It's going to be absolutely incredible. From an action-packed Zero-Dam, action-packed Brakkesh, a more quiet, tight prison, now we go action-packed galore through the finish of the day over in Space City. But first, a brief break. See you in just a few.
Two members, now the odds are in their favor, 2v1. Everything getting spammed away, and NT getting a little... So hang on a second, NL! Look at that! It's an absolute swing! This... And LG's got it, though. They're here. Lines them up, even through the shock. You're a nut! The last remaining 3 BOV, they find 2 instant knocks. The Helm's gonna be hopping off that.
My name is Lucas, and I am the IGL for Team Nightmare. As I was scrolling Twitter, I had seen clips from my friends playing Delta Force, Mendo, for example, and after watching clips, I thought the game looked interesting, so I tuned into a few of his streams and decided that I wanted to try the game myself. My 2 teammates, plus our sub, One is Deathwing. The second is Equal Plays, and our sub is Ranger. Deathwing, I met and started the game about the same time with. Him and I both came from Rust prior to Delta Force, and we were kind of learning the game together and getting taught the game. And Equal was a friend of a friend who has been a longtime Delta Force streamer and competitor. Ranger as well, a friend of a friend. He was previously competing in Deadlock and has now come over to compete in Delta Force. Our team has gone through quite a lot of transformations in just a few short months that we've been teaming together. Upon starting, I felt very confident playing the Luna on our team, and it was about time that wasn't working so well, so we needed to switch it up. And now that I am no longer playing Luna, I've relinquished that role to Deathwing. Equal has remained on Assault for us, and I've taken over the support and recon operator role on the team. We found that it was best if we swapped the roles because I felt I could be more impactful as the support and shot caller rather than the recon character on Luna. So quite a few transformations in a short time. I am no longer playing any of the operators that I started playing when I joined these guys at the team. I'm on a complete new operator pool. The thing I'm most proud of about our team is the perseverance we've had. As I said, when it came to our transformations, most of us are not playing the same operator that we played or the operator pool we played when we started joining together as a team. So in a few short months, we've all been asked to learn new operators, new roles, and we've persevered and are playing better than we have before. I believe as it's Nightmare Esports, we can go out and win this tournament.
Got the mantle bricks. Find and stop them. Mantle bricks decoded. Nice work, operator.
The time to strike is now. Do not let me down, operator.
Decoding has begun. Defend the area.
Is about to take the first hit to bring up the tournament. And they're going to do it.
What goes around comes around.
Oh, not gonna do very much though. You get barrel stuff. Skydie is getting aggressive.
See what I did there? You ain't seen nothing yet.
Let's knock them off their feet.
There we go. And there it is.
The warm-up rounds are over, and now it is nothing but business all the way through to the very end of the day. We're going to find a victor here on Space City in the rounds to come, potentially in this round to come, as we see Nightmare coming into the first Space City here in round 4 with a break already in their hands. We got a great little interview there with the IGL just moments ago saying, you know what, we know what we're capable of. We've gone through a lot of transformations with our operator pool, but we believe that we're capable of going out and winning the whole thing. And honestly, Tiff, with how they played in the first couple of rounds here, they're looking pretty good to me today.
I think so as well. And honestly, you just have to be flexible. You have to be just constantly adapting, which when you hear that they've shifted their operator pool, that everyone's kind of changed roles, you have to do what it takes to get to the top. And that chemistry is really starting to come together because that first Mantle Brick round on Brakkesh, as you look at the leaderboard, Nightmare is the one that was able to claim it. It was a bloodbath. I'm going to go ahead and put it that way. You had SSG, you had FaZe, you had W Key Forever. Like a ton of players were looking for the C's and they were just trading it back and forth. For the squad points, FaZe Clan, SSG, Evil Geniuses, and W Key Forever are all inside double digits there. That's crazy to me.
Oh, yeah.
But the only team in terms of double-digit kills is FaZe. They've been looking solid, but you mentioned the Space City Gauntlet. It's here, baby. It's marathon time. Mantle Brick, Mantle Brick, Mantle Brick. Who is going to do it? The only team that's in win condition right now is Nightmare. This is likely where we will see some of those Tempests come through. Keep an eye on Killzall from SSG. Likely going to lock that in, get him super aggro like he wants.
Definitely. Luna Tempest, Stinger, galore coming up. Raps are out of use, Nox out of use. Not expecting to see any use on those on this map anyway. So makes perfect sense that they would play accordingly, as we can see here as well, as we just mentioned it. Stinger, Luna, Tempest, that is your trifecta when it comes to Space City.
It is the way to find the information, to heal, to succeed, and use that Tempest ult to go ahead, hit the decode, get retreated back, and set up the regain. The Tempest pick at 23%, Luna almost mirroring it, and then Toxic kind of sneaking in there, which is kind of wild, but I respect it as well. The util package for her is pretty fun to kind of disorient a lot of players. In terms of our spawns, though, FaZe Clan and Nightmare did get the tier 1 spawns on Tide Prison. They are allowed to get it. However, Westgate can be a little interesting considering once that tier 3 spawn up in Dormitory Building, will have the line of sight straight onto that. But who is going to make their way to the Mandel Brick, because Space City is here?
Definitely is. Definitely is. We're in for a great time, as of course one more time we have a giveaway coming your way. A redeemable code for 1,000 Delta Force tickets is about to appear on screen. As a matter of fact, it's on screen now. You got to redeem it quickly though, because there's only 15 uses, which means it's probably gone now. But nevertheless, for those of you guys able to get yourselves 1,000 Delta tickets, congratulations, you are swift and quick, as we'll now get ready for the Space City to come.
Brakkesh was so wild early on today with the way that Mandel Brick decode was trading back and forth. I'm hoping that Space City can give me the inevitable chaos that I so need.
Well, one could only hope. One could only hope. Of course, early on, your eyes should be towards the West Gate. That's oftentimes, despite it being a tier 1 spawn, and thinking, oh, that's going to be the greatest then, right? Well, sure, but at the same time, it's also the one that gets under fire early. That is, if the team set up here goes for the shot in that direction. But actually, I don't think they are. They're looking towards the FaZe crossover instead, because as you can see here, there's the fight early on, and indeed, there is FaZe taking fight to SSG early on. They're fighting east across the bridge, but here's EG on the other side. Evil Genius is trying to contest early on. A lot of fighting going off right at the start.
Okay, maybe this is a little bit quicker than I would have expected for a Mandel Brick round, but the chaos I asked for, they give it, they take it. The Mew Mew going down. El Snows with the knock and the full, albeit Evil Geniuses can still pick him up if they can get there, but a drill charge does incoming straight onto Articuno. And look at DW keeping tabs on SSG, who have had an early player fall.
This is what's so scary about this map. I mean, these transition points, the bottlenecks of all these positions, whether it be the gate or the 3 crossover points on the northern side, everyone spawns in a position for where they can get lines of sight of at least one of them. So when we see here that everyone goes to fight over the same few, it becomes so hectic right out of the gate. As we see one more knock come through, that's Nightmare now taking casualties as well.
Well, here's the deal. As we look around, a couple of players have invested in that gold ammo. You can see SSG have 2 players sent in. Of course, one is going to be Killzall. And if your player with the gold ammo goes down and the purple, maybe not our best move there. You can see SSG does get the res onto 2 Easy, back up to a team of 3. So keep tabs on that. If 2 Easy does fall and get fooled, will not be coming back into it. The Mandel Brick, in the meantime, has been picked up and is now on the way to a decoding station from FaZe.
Important to mention as well, FaZe opting to play this one without a Tempest. Not something you see too often, of course. The Wolf, a good alternative. You still get some of the mobility with the ult. You get the slide capabilities as well, so you can maneuver around pretty quickly, but you don't get the same rope disengage, as we now get a little insight
I don't
to
have
El
anything
Snows
to
and how
say
they play.
to Nightmare at all, but I have something to say to Equal. I remember that day you killed me from behind in the middle of the Space City on the qualifiers. And I'm here to say to you, today gonna be the day you're gonna pay for it.
Interesting. That's aggressive. I like it.
Little foreshadowing.
I like it. a little bit of layered chaos as you see here. Now, you did mention that FaZe is not playing Tempest. They do have the Alluru, which where they have set up for their decode is exactly what we saw yesterday on Space City. But you do have the composite incendiary that you can yeet over. If someone tries to hop the decode, you can burn them alive. But SSG, on the other hand, while I was yapping, lays that down, steals the decode. Mr. Dioga is on the ground. The res is coming through, but this is why Tempest can be so valuable, and Luna immediately looking for information on where the remnants of FaZe are.
Exactly. Should be able to pretty swiftly steal it back the other way around, but even with that, that's a lot of info garnered early on as FaZe now trying to defend this position. Should be able to go over, take it back once again, but that's just us putting the timer even further down. We just dropped a minute off the timer of the reset, right like that.
Kind of interesting here. Reminder, guys, if you're just joining us, it was Nightmare with the Mandel Brick in match 2 for Brakkesh. And for WKF, W Key Forever trying to live up to some of that and take some of those fights straight onto SSG, who are trying to steal it back from FaZe.
I like the fact that SSG is repositioning. They lose the brick, or the control of it, I should say, and now, I mean, being stuck out on this bridge for as long as they were, makes perfect sense that they're going to try and reposition. Maybe wrap north around, same as we saw yesterday, teams fighting over towards that ramp rather than sitting out in and around the CEO office proper instead. Issue is you have Evil Geniuses and W Key Forever in that northwest corner of the island, which, I mean, they'll soon realize they're right next to one another. Peaky, oh, you might want to use some util here, because you are about to get completely obliterated. Just a second from now, and there he goes. Blink and you miss it, Mumu. Good for 2.
And that is the pressure that can happen. The snap onto W Key Forever, truly living up to their name. Evil Geniuses, the trap that they have laid just by playing small there. Wait until they are literally about to be sieged upon. Let's run it back from their side.
Boom. Gets the first one, swings on number 2. We want to reward him with the third as well. But his teammate Loco is there. Good for that one as well, and just nothing they could do. That is the effect of a good trap play, and EG knew exactly how to set it up.
Bro just went straight to the Shadow Realm. Unfortunate for them. Back to kills all we go. Pop the ulti, and we're going for the steal. Smokes are down, covering the angle. You can see the incendiary is going to try to block Killsol from jumping straight onto it. He hops up. Do we get the steal? SSG have stolen the Mandel Brick, and away we go.
Yeah, we're resetting at 2:30 now. Time up. Dwindling by the second, and with how early all these steals are taking place, you have to imagine this one is going to go down very early on. We already have a team eliminated. And also, I mean, actually, that slipped me completely because they had him down early on. But Nightmare logging into this one without a Tempest as well kind of tells me that they're expecting this one to go the distance. Because normally, I mean, Tempest with the value that she brings to Mandel Brick rounds, you'd have to imagine they're saving this one for a potential round 6.
Yeah, that does seem to be the way, right? We're going to probably see the Tempest come out for the teams that don't play it here in games 5 and 6. For SSG, they're banking on going back-to-back in 4 and 5 if we're burning a Tempest right now. For FaZe, though, who want to get back into the action and real steal from SSG. Look at the setup, though. You have all 3 of them on a 2-1 split. You've got 2 easy out on the right with Skies kind of jump peeking through. But you do have up top, inside the building, likely looking through some of those windows to see what is going on from Nightmare. They want to wait and say, hey, maybe if we see some trades come through, but we're just over a minute, so somebody's going to have to do something.
Yeah, I mean, Nightmare, even let alone the fact that they're not playing a Tempest tells me they're not expecting to come out victorious here. But I mean, if they're given a chance and a good third play opportunity, surely they're going to be going to try and see if they can engage on this Killsol. Holding the cross here from out in the open. Theo got the one on the push on forward now. Under a minute left to go on the timer.
Oh, here we go. They're going to have to make some moves if we can. There's the incendiary, but Killsol trying to jump to take some angles. Elsnow's trying to filter his way up, and we are slightly wounded, but too easy gets knocked. Reminder, guys, if he is fooled, he's completely out of here.
Yep, fell down early on. We'll see if they can get it back on his feet. DioGod has to reload. 25 seconds left on the timer here, but Spacestation down 1 early on. Here comes Evil Geniuses as well. They're closing on in a Nightmare. They are also making their run on up towards here. 17 seconds as we're moving on down. J-Device able to find DioGod around the corner. Will go for the take. Will be successful in doing so. No, I speak too soon. Has not been stolen on over. We're down to just 5 seconds left alive. Mumu is on it though, and Evil Geniuses able to get the steal as SSG eliminated. So much going on. Look at that kill feed. This Evil Geniuses all over it.
You're telling me that Evil geniuses, I just called him geniuses, roll in and completely snap their fingers and are like, we have cleared out everything. For a second, I thought SSG might have been able to walk away with the decode because FaZe tries to take it. J-Device from LSZ gets on it, and I was like, oh my god, LSZ's gonna take it. But Evil Geniuses move in, mere seconds remaining, and swipe it. They're healthy, they're situated on purples. You have Mew Mew there who picked up 3 kills, has the gold armor, and look who's here.
Also, I misspoke for a second. SSG still alive. Kill still managing to survive. Of course, going to be very hard for him to do a whole lot as a solo. As a matter of fact, he's run all the way off the very edge of the center island just to try and get away from this fight going on. But never count out a solo in general, and never count out a solo when it is Killsol. He is still very much capable of making big things happen.
Down under a minute for Evil Geniuses. And FaZe, you see the duo there. They can pick up Mr. DioGod. It's going to take some time.
Yeah.
The swipe likely to occur, but Nightmare is still a team of 3. Evil Geniuses still a team of 3. And with 30 seconds to go, will Nightmare show face?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. With so much fighting having been taking place early on here, I'm kind of wondering, Nightmare, I mean, I know they're holding back and they weren't expecting to win, but they're one of 2 teams with 3 players left alive. I mean, of course, they don't know that, but you've got to imagine that at some point soon they're going, they've been fighting so much, maybe we actually do play aggressive now.
FaZe, they swap the decode,
Yep.
go 20 seconds in, they grab Mr. DioGod, pull him back into the cover, and are working to get back to a team of 3.
Let's see what's going to happen here. Sadikuno loves some util on over, not going to connect with it. They're isolated for the time being. 40 seconds left on the timer here as FaZe stuck outside. Trying to make something big happen, trying to continue to isolate, but they're running out of util by the second. Here comes the run around the side, able to get one, but traded immediately thereafter. Mumu will be able to jump back with the ult activated, but using the ult to try and get the kill here means that they can't get it on the other side. But here comes Nightmare. They're setting up the Morse ult now to make the run on forward as well. Keep in mind, they're up early on, but there is the bow. Equal found early on. Mech prone in the bush from a distant. A Gilly player in disguise finds one from there. Wow.
Meg the Menace, let me tell you, LSZ Liquids. Nightmare's about to pull the trigger and move into it. Does that give FaZe the decode as they have 3, 2, 1?
Wow.
FaZe extract there with the Mandel Brick now. Just Elsnow's last alive, bro. You send that paycheck straight over to Liquids.
Liquids, they're literally proning on the very south side of the map. And they end up being the biggest impact team in this very last couple of moments because, I mean, Nightmare, they were setting up ults, they were getting ready for an engagement, and they could have won the whole thing here and there, but not to be. Not going to happen. FaZe will be eliminated, but doesn't matter. They got everything they could have possibly hoped for coming out victorious with the break there.
Well, you were talking about it. You're like, hey, does FaZe make a regain? And we get the one Mandel Brickless check-in with their comms.
Só não queria ficar fechadão ali, tá ligado? Senão...
Ô, só digo uma coisa, tá? Só digo uma coisa. O Mu aí que me rushou ficou com 0.8 de vida.
I don't speak Brazilian Portuguese, but I respect the fact that they sounded happy.
You know what? They got a Mandel Brick. They got some kills, and they did it without I believe it was a Tempest, right?
Yeah.
They were the ones
Yeah.
that didn't bring in a Tempest.
True.
So, I mean, look, you find your value right away and you sign up for another round. Nightmare not going to be able to complete it in 4 here. What they are is alive aside from equal.
Definitely. Still 5.5 minutes left to work with in this one, so time enough to get the extracts going and get out of here alive as TW, good for one, finds Mumu on the cross on over. They'll be sat tight in this one. Also important to mention that this brick for FaZe Clan is the first mantle brick they've claimed the entire group stage so far. So I mean, we wanted to see them step it up, and my oh my, have they?
Giving the people what they want.
Oh yeah.
For such a high caliber organization. For Nightmare though, equal, DW, Lucas. Plenty of kills on the table to be had with 5 other potential kill points available in the lobby if we can find them. First up, potential 2v3 on the horizon.
Now I kind of just want to go back on the, like, if we could go back on the map feed and go, what was Liquid's plan down on that south side? They were just holding the cross. They were never looking to have impact on the fight proper, but because the Nightmare player was just stood still where he was, it was just too free to not go for that shot, especially when he got the one-tap bow in hand. As we now see this one, not a proper fight just yet. Still some util isolating the two, but getting real close with it as Lucas is looking to try and see if he can find it. Not here. Oh, the spray through the smoke. Toe tap skill all does find him in the end.
To be fair, very nice to pad the stats if we can make it happen.
For sure.
But it's a brawl. And with 4 minutes on the clock left, you bring it to a 2v2.
And Liquids are still probed outside. They literally have not moved since we saw them a couple of minutes ago. I mean, okay, fair enough. Meg has moved. Meg has moved closer. But Pavi is still stood down by the extract, waiting things out.
Bro, what do you do if you were straight up equal and you're like, I just got like carved out by a compound bow?
Yeah.
You just sit there and you're like, dang it, because he had already gotten knocked right off the rip. So things were definitely not his favor in this round, but that's okay.
That's right.
One more map to go. It ain't over till it's over.
That's true. That's why you never stand still. Never stand still in a shooter, especially when we have one-tap weapons in the game like that. He stood still for just a brief moment, and that was plenty enough time for Meg to have the biggest impact knock in this game, or in this round, I should say. As, again, I mean, Nightmare, they were looking like they were setting up a potential winning move here in round 4, but not quite to be, as we now see the Toxic ult used, locked on forward. There is a drill charge thrown in return, though, gonna slow down the push come through. And Meg is continuously moving forward. Quite a nice little off-angle position, and Loco actually through the side barrier there, able to get one. That's going to be the second one down as well. Momo now 6th kill in the round, 11 kills for Evil Geniuses in this game. Squad points through the roof, but also over 8 million Technic Alloy going to be garnered off of a round like this.
That is massive. That is like, we're almost wiping 4 full teams. And now, Evil Geniuses, you're not left in the lobby alone. You sight our next victims, LSC, who have been the thorns of a lot of our fights here today. What are we going to do, Meg? What are we doing? Little self-heal stinger? Okay.
Also, $650 added to their prize pool earnings. Important to note as well. That's pretty nifty sum of cash to increase by just 1 round of play. As Pavi does find one. He's been sitting on this side for effectively the entire round, so at least 16 minutes worth of patience gets him one. And there's another bow wielder as Liquids. They are just, I mean, they're playing Hunger Games while everyone else is playing Delta Force.
Yeah, pretty much. I call it a very menacing thing if you know they're out there connecting these shots. But Articuno answers back, grabs a knock, leaving Poppy left standing. Who's going to be able to take those angles? EG definitely looking for them.
Well, we'll see what more they're going to get with it. 1:15 left to work with. They know they're not going to extract anyway, so might as well try and see if you can claim the last one. It's a 2v1. I think they know exactly where they have Papi sat, but is it worth trying to make the run for him? Is it worth risking giving over that money for the kill come his way? But nah, he's He's running further away, going for the extract on the south side, I'd imagine.
Bye. I've done what I wanted to do, and that's all that matters at this point. You can see on the map here, Puppy is running out towards the horizontal test workshop extract, where you drop your backpack and then you dip for Loco. And Articuno not going to find that extra kill they were looking forward to, but that's okay.
I honestly thought we were going to end it here. Coming into the round, I was like, nah,
Really?
surely we're going round 6, surely. But whenever I saw... The thing is, we saw so many other teams take casualties early on, with Nightmare just sat there waiting for the time to pounce. And when they started moving up, when they put down that morsel, I was like, oh my god, they're actually doing it in 4. Then we hop on over to the Bushwookie, sat on the opposite side of the plaza, going boop, with the compound bow. And it's like, well, great, that's the plan ruined.
That is actually crazy that Meg themselves just sent FaZe a Mandel brick. But who knows? They could have held against Nightmare. We'll never get that what-if situation. But as we look through Evil Genius's Articuno on the screen, kind of just taking it all in from that very fun Space City.
Definitely. Space City never disappoints. This one did not either. Everyone brawling it out in the open to try and fight it over. FaZe out victorious. Diogod doesn't seem too happy yet, but of course they know the fighting ain't over. Now we're halfway there. We gotta get ourselves one more. FaZe Clan with the brick out victorious. Only 2 kills, but it doesn't really matter. In the end of it, they got themselves the Mandel brick, and that's what matters most.
Yeah, and then you start seeing what does that compare against when it comes to Nightmare, who also had a Mandel brick in terms of your squad points. So those kill points are definitely going to be vital. We grab 2 of them, and you get the brick. For Else Knows, Mr. Diogod and Sudoku, we're chilling. We are chilling. A stellar game for them. 5 seconds to go. Nightmare looks to make the push, and instead we get the goods. For Evil Geniuses, however, 13 kills, a massive, massive game for them.
That is absolutely unheard of. I mean, that's just utterly insane. That is over 10 million Technic alloy they get off of eliminations alone.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. I mean, you're wiping over technically 4 squads, but we did see some people get knocked, reset there as well. So that is about the most you could potentially get when you've got just minimal teams. As you look at the top killers, I see you, Evil Geniuses. You are going to be the top of the damage dealers. It is all Evil Geniuses all day.
Ironically enough, though, they're not the ones to get out with a brick. You like to imagine that when you have a team do this much damage on a server, they also are the ones victorious in the end of it, but not quite to be.
You would think. You would think.
Yeah.
But it did not work out that way for LSZ to snake in there with those 2 assists. He's probably putting in some damage when no teammates are going compound bow.
Also, actually kind of insane that we just saw there. They were only with 1 assist each, saying that they all did everything in terms of their kills individually. That is incredibly impressive, because they were going up in 1v2s, 1v3s as well, but they were able to stand their ground through the whole of it. Loco will be your round MVP. 5 kills, 800, almost 900 damage done. That is an incredible round for Loco. Even if they don't get away with the brick itself, that is a lot of squad points gone their way, so that if they get the brick in the round to come, they're going to be jumping straight up into first.
Definitely are, but 2 teams in win condition and more Space City to come for Evil Geniuses and those double-digit kills. They're going to try to find the brick of their own, but honestly, it's anyone's game still.
It really is. It really is. It got close. Again, I thought for a second we were going to get back-to-back days with 4-round finishes, but Meg had other plans with the compound bow down there in the bush. We're setting up for round 5 to come in just a brief moment. Before that, a quick break, so stick around, and we'll see you again in just a few.
Members, now the odds are in their favor, 2v1. Everything getting spammed away, and MT getting a little solo. Hang on a second, NL. Look at that, it's an absolute sweat. And Elliot's got him, they're here, lines them up, even through the shot, you're nuts. For the last remaining 3 BOB, they find 2 instant knocks. The Elm's gonna be hopping up to that.
Stop them. Mandel break decoded. Nice work, operator.
The time to strike is now. Do not let me down, operator.
Decoding has begun. Defend the area.
Is about to take the first hit to bring up the tournament, and they're going to do it!
What goes around, comes around.
Oh, I'm not gonna do very much. Don't you get barrel stuff? Skydie is getting aggressive.
See what I did there? You ain't seen nothing yet.
Let's knock them off their feet.
There we go. There it is.
More teams now with Mandel breaks under the belt, getting ready for a potential winning round to come as we go back to Space City 4 round 5. And one team in mention is FaZe Clan, able to get themselves not just the first break of the day, but their first break of the tournament so far. Tiff, we wanted to see big things out of them, and here they are delivering, now jumping up into first.
Let's get it as we look at the leaderboard and kind of set the stakes to come. We still have 2 more on Space City at least, and who knows if we get to that 7th match where it could be Brakkesh or Space City. For FaZe Clan and Nightmare, they are the 2 teams in win condition that can close it out here. But Evil Geniuses, after that banger performance, double-digit kills, have 29 squad points.
Wow.
Imagine what they can do with 21 kill points alone.
Wow.
Insane. SSG, I don't want to call them a little bit of a sleeper team right now. They have not lost a single match day that they have played in. They've always gotten 2 bricks. They have been a true powerhouse of the Delta Force Rise series here in Americas. But we go to Space City yet again. They do have the chance to go back to back, to steal it away from Nightmare, to steal it away from FaZe.
Well, there's a good chance that could happen as we take a look at the operators available here. Once again, look at this FaZe Clan, still with both their Tempests available and Nightmare as well. The 2 teams with Mandel bricks collected have yet to use a Tempest. That is not something you see often. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go out of the line here and say that is not something you ever see. Both the teams with bricks collected have yet to use a Tempest.
Well, back into the action we go. A little same for our most popular operators. You're likely going to see Tempest, Lunas, maybe a few Toxics, maybe, just really depends. We saw some Alurus come out with the Incendiaries for the defense. We did have LSZ and SSG with the tier 1 spawns on round 4. Moving into round 5, though, not going to be able to do the same. However, those tier 3 spawns, especially north of Dormitory, can get you into the early action. You saw what Evil Geniuses was able to do and manifest a ton of kills. But I'm honestly really amped to get into Space City. Do we end here? Do we go to game 6? I'm not sure what the action is here. And guys, if you are loving the esports side of Delta Force, welcome. We'd love to have you. Delta Force does have an esports page on their website at playdeltaforce.com. Click on the esports tab, check out the Rise series, the tournament schedule, because we are still into week 3. It is day 2. But there, you can check out all the teams, check out all the results, and follow everything to do with the Rise series.
Wow, look at this. In comparison to the previous game, night and day, 3 teams rocking full gold armors and helmets now. And it's, of course, the 2 teams with bricks already wanting to claim it here and now, but also Evil Geniuses that were able to get themselves so much value off of all the elims they got just moments ago. And here we have that Westgate crossover. I talked about it. FaZe Clan able to get themselves into the great position. But look at this. It's the 2 Mandel break teams fighting early on. This is huge.
Who would have thought? You've got Nightmare and FaZe getting the Dormitory and Westgate spawns, and they are going to stare at each other. El Snow's already down and out. They bring in the gold armor. They bring in the gold ammo. They are ready for war here. And
shark.
Nightmare not going to give them any
The Sharks
space. Oh, yeah.
actually have impact on this. I've never seen that be the case on this map, but the Sharks are there trying to make it happen. And FaZe, they are in dire straits. They lose one early. They didn't get a chance to open the Westgate, and the Sharks is back for another round.
Bro, the shark is a paid actor right now. He's got upgraded. They gave him a line. He's now a guest star billing. Like, come on, my man.
Absolutely crazy scenes unfolding here right out of the gates. We have a break to fight over. Right now, the shark is taking all the attention.
Never mind. You're the main star of this show. That is true, Jaws. He's like, look, they made movies about me.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Dio God.
Definitely.
Oh, but elsewhere, we are seeing some more potential action coming through. SSG are going to be the ones to pick up the Mandel brick. We are going straight for the decoding station. And here's the deal. We were talking about it. SSG have yet to get a Mandel brick.
Yeah.
As history recalls here for the Delta Force Rise series, we have seen them go back-to-back in games 5 and 6. And LSC, just a compound bow. And a team ahead of them.
Oh, yeah. Nothing Mick would rather have than a bow in hand and opponents up ahead. A chance to make enemies for life as we get the hip fire spray down at quite the distance, but actually able to land quite a few shots with it. 2 nice shots from Momo. Able to get one down. A little bit of revenge come through as they take out one of Liquid's.
I'm not sorry.
What are you giggling over, Tim?
Like, dude, LSZ is just crazy. WK Forever on the other side. Meg dives into the water.
Sprays?
We're trying our best, okay? We are really relying on the compound bow. Everything else is to cause a distraction as he dives back thanks to the rope on Tempest.
Yeah, maybe that's the thing. It's like, no, it's shooting too fast. I'm more used to this single fire action. Well, we'll see. It's going to be the case here as this full instance get taken down. The Hog tank gets out as well. So AI eliminated us. I mean, SSG for the time being, they're chilling on the decoding station. Down to under 2.5 minutes left, but as you can see here, every other team creeping on forward. And to make matters even worse, looks to me like Nightmare has actually been able to wrap on the inside of FaZe, and they want to take this fight to them proper. They want to eliminate the other Mandelbrick team here.
And Equal dives out into the middle. Has to keep an eye on. There goes the pullback thanks towards Tempest. But I do want to shout out with SSG getting less than 2 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock. Not running a Tempest brings in the Luru for the defense. W key forever. 1 HP on Meg. Do you find your vengeance?
Do you find your bow?
Bro, if he peeks up and lands a bow straight on to Piggy here, I'm crying. I'm out.
Well, let's see what's gonna happen. Util deployed over on the other side. More shots fired. Not gonna connect with that one though, as Evil Geniuses made their presence known now. They are in this position, trying to see if they can claim the brick. Should be able. There is some Util being spammed forward, but they should be able to get the steal. Indeed, they will. Momo will go down. Now with a nice shot there with the Allure rocket as well. A lot of damage done, but not enough to find the flush nor another kill.
And my man throwing the ammunition straight at him and says, I'm going back to Reese's, okay? And SSG get the Mandel brick in their hands with 3 minutes to go. I will say that Nightmare is still playing on the ramp, laying low, doing very similar to what we had witnessed in the prior matchup. When will they jump on it? And will there be a bow in the hand of Meg?
Yeah, well,
to thwart their plans.
Very well could be, as they're still sat way outside. I mean, down to 2 players now, with Poppy been taken down way further towards the west. No way that they're getting him back alive. WK Fiber just holding them out on the inside as, again, SSG sat safely. Good position here, kind of the split position, but holding all the different angles of approach they need to effectively right now. But Nightmare, after forcing FaZe to fall back, they now make their way up the ramp as well. And there is Meg again.
That's insane. But straight on to W key forever. It's just that long range battle. Likely going to try to get him back on up for Evil Geniuses. This could be a really interesting approach. If Evil Geniuses push up on this eastern side of the decode where Nightmare kind of filters up through the ramps, it's going to be too much for SSG to watch against.
Yeah. Well, see more smokes deployed. Potential run for the station incoming, but not yet. I mean, maybe this is just to bait, and it's actually working out. You see too easy lob a nade over there. Maybe just to bait some Util, force them to make the peek on out. There's that just across the entranceway. As Killsol, still with eye on the brig itself, has a chance to hold it, but here comes Nightmare. They're making a run for it as well.
Here we go. Meg elsewhere on the ground. W key forever. They get the bow out in Meg is taken down by a bow. Oh, Captain, my Captain, W key forever. Looking to get a little messy, and J-Device trying to get out elsewhere. You have to keep tabs. We are down to a minute on the Mandel brick, and Equal is here. All gold all day. What can our Tempest player do? We are being incredibly sneaky, but you know Evil Geniuses will be keeping tabs on this. Once that smoke is down, there's a composite incendiary in the hands of Killsol, who immediately invests it. Nightmare do steal, and Equal is alive thus far.
Great abilities to get out of this one alive as well on the side of Equal, because I think he ran out of the ropes early on, or maybe didn't even have access to begin with, but able to dodge and weave a lot of the util coming his way, able to get back to safety on the ramp. It's a kind of awkward place to defend this position from, but with how many teams are over there on the right side, might just be possible.
But did you see what was in the hand of Equal? Bro brought in the one shot. Okay, so here's the deal. He was going to be able to hold that angle, and that is going to potentially be the key towards their success. FaZe also in win condition, trying to make something happen. Evil Geniuses forced to back up. 1 minute 40 on the clock. And Equal holding down. I like that DW is watching the doorway for Killsol here. Yes, he has the concrete barrier up, but if Killsol tries to just breach the gap and extend out, he's going down.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Liquids now making their run on over. J-Device running on forward. I'm not sure if he spotted one of the players on the side of W Shift Forever or not, but at least checking that angle as they make their way further forward. Down to 1 minute 10.
There it is. Trying to keep tabs on it. 1 minute to go for Nightmare. DW backs down just a bit. Evil Geniuses moved up, but keep tabs on Mr. Diogod, who snakes his way with no resistance on the decode. Thanks to Tempest bringing that out. They're looking for the back-to-back. They were the team that got it in match number 4 without a Tempest and have brought it in as a duo to swipe the decode.
Yeah, exactly. Literally no contest whatsoever. As you're saying, just 2 players left alive on the team, and they're the ones to go in, steal it. Again, it's probably going to be taken by somebody else in just a short moment, but even then, that's us setting the timer even lower now. With still 9 minutes left to work with, you'd have to imagine that it's gonna change hands a few times over before this one comes to an end.
Well, W key forever. They make their presence known on the backside of Nightmare, which could push them going forward. You see Lucas already takes a substantial amount of damage, starting to put the pressure onto SSG. They move forward, but with Evil Geniuses could also start to look towards this. Smoke's out all over, and Nightmare has seized it.
This is a sick play come through from Nightmare. They're going around the side to play inside on the opposite side of things. It's going to be very hard for them to defend from this position, but I think they either heard or just spider senses tinkling from the side on the ramp side of things that the W key forever was coming up that direction. They're going, we cannot defend it if we are also fighting a team on the backside. So fighting for the long haul in this one, I think, was a very smart decision on their part, as the first and second seed teams now fighting one another. Mumu able to get 2 players down, solid 2-piece lockdown for him, as the Mandel break still going down by the second.
The fact that we have realized that maybe even gods can bleed and SSG are just breaking apart at the seams. Skies here, half health, forced to disengage because the Revenants, EG, are here.
Only one entryway for Nightmare to defend this position from. A single molly could make it very hard for them to do anything to try and defend. 25 seconds left to work with as W key forever make the run on forward.
Equal.
I think Equal is going to sit on this position, try to hold it on side. We go down to 20 again. Remember, Nightmare has one already. If they get this one locked down, it is GG. The day will be over. But here comes the run on forward. A lot of util expended as well. Lucas is prone under the decoding station itself, able to defend down to 9 seconds.
They get a knock onto FaZe as well. Reminder, FaZe is a duo. 5 seconds to go. They have to hold it and Equal. Lucas, you see him falling toward the hands of Articuno, but it doesn't matter because Nightmare gets the Mandel brick extracted.
Come in.
Yeah, do a big wrap. Yeah, yes, do a big wrap.
Killing scout.
Now is when the 50 bucks galore come in. They know there are a lot of kills to be found, but Nightmare able to make it happen. They invested everything into this round, golds galore, knowing full well what they were capable of. I feel like they thought they had a chance in the previous one as well, but they come out victorious here. FaZe thought they got a good chance at it as well, but Nightmare able to defend in position. So many teams fighting around them that the fight for the brig itself was effectively only a battle between Nightmare and WKey Forever, but great defensive positioning from Nightmare nets them the victory and the match 5 end of the day here.
Honestly, this is something you have to like kind of go back and start to break down, because FaZe as a duo does try to make their presence known at the very last situation. Gets one knocked. Nightmare is trying to look in so many different areas. They get the smokes down, they lay their coverage, and they're like, whatever you do, it is hold the line. Now trying to focus on getting those kills. You can see just with Equal on the ground, SSG have fallen elsewhere. Evil Genius is racking up even more kills.
It's just too little too late, and I feel like we've seen that not only here, but in previous stages of the tournament as well. Teams being a bit too hesitant, maybe not like daring to be the ones, because it's a risk-reward management situation for them. Yes, we can go early, but what if there's a lot of teams there? What if we take casualties because of it? Well, if everyone thinks that when no one goes for it, we're going to end up seeing what we see here. The teams that do dare go out and make things happen come out victorious early as well. Nightmare doing exactly that, and love seeing the fact that the two teams that we have come out victorious with bricks today in first and second place respectively. Nightmare, they're going to come out of the day with 10 points on the overall leaderboard. FaZe Clan going to come out of the day with a whooping 7 points as well. They were both sat down tied at 8th place overall. They're going to be flying up the leaderboard, joining that mid-pack. So for the week to come and for tomorrow as well, Tiff, that 15-point margin, 17 and upwards, is going to be so tight.
This is where everything is going to be so important, like you highlighted, going into week number 4. Before we jump into that survivor stage, really just trying to cement yourself even at that point. But when we heard from Nightmare at that point, we were listening to the way they were talking about how they had to regain through their operator pool, switching their roles, and then they knew that they could potentially win this, right? They felt confident with it, and to show off like that, great. But for Evil Geniuses, they're just putting on a show in terms of racking up the kills here. FaZe just trying to hold on if they can. Mr. Dio God getting lit up, taking too much damage.
Important to note as well that Nightmare is playing again tomorrow. I mean, what bet? I don't even call it a warm-up, because today obviously as much of an important fight as anyone else. See here, Evil Geniuses trying to make the finish of FaZe Clan. Of course, won't really matter in the grand scheme of things. The 3 teams alive are the ones whose positions are already set tight. But Evil Geniuses, 40 squad points, and they ain't done yet. What a huge day for them. Issue is, though, those Mandel bricks, well, they were nowhere to be found.
All good though. If you're playing again tomorrow, you keep up the consistency. A lot of fun here at the hands of Equal, especially with that as we look back towards the replay. Evil Geniuses trying to break down FaZe.
Absolutely huge. Trying to get the fight in here, get the drill charge on through. A little bit of damage done with it as Mumu swings the corner, finds the final one there as well as they get the final kill of the fight. But Nightmare still here, still showboating. See if they can go out and get something all in hand of Equal. You do not want to hear the sound of that gun when you're at this stage in the game.
2 bullets left. 2 bullets left. 1 bullet left.
Wow.
0 bullets left. That's fine. You're out of here.
They should run over, find Mech's corpse, and just pick up a bow. Just for good measure. Since it's kind of a show match now anyway.
Might as well. Might as well.
Of course, money on the line. Money on the line, 50 bucks per kill. You want to make the most of it. They do stack up quite heavily over the course of a 6-week tournament, of course. So Momo able to get even more with See, he's going, no, don't do it. Don't do it. I'll do anything. But Momo doesn't care. 6 kill for him. This one looking to make it 7.
He's like, I'm working towards the top of the kill leaderboards. All right, Nightmare out of here. And the amount of kills that Evil Geniuses is able to grab is yet again double digits.
Yep. Nah, it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Where they failed to get themselves Mandel breaks, they sure as hell have been able to make highlight after highlight after highlight reels today.
2 minutes left to go, and now we're just gonna say, all right, what can we fit in our safe box? What can we pull on out of here? We already know the Mandel Brick's been extracted. As such, the tournament will be ended by Nightmare. But for Evil Geniuses, they have just really shown how much pressure they can put on our heavy-hitting squads today. They thwarted a lot of our teams from even making these plays, which I think is so incredible, knowing what they're capable of. It's been really fun to watch.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Also, I feel like it's been a very different pace than what we saw yesterday, which makes me very curious as to which type day we're going to see tomorrow. Again, Nightmare going to be back and playing. You have to imagine that they're going to be riding heavily off of the high from what has been this round, as we see here. Are we really seeing the replay of
Yeah, we are.
I didn't know why we were seeing it, but that face cam reaction made it all worthwhile.
Oh, 1,000%.
That's hilarious.
That is just one of those mischievous moments where you're like, I did that, right?
That was amazing. I'm sure GIFs are being made as we speak.
Oh, yes. Well, now as I kind of look past, like, prior to this, the first week we had Group A and B. Nightmare does get second place overall on that day, right? So they showed out in this group prior. Of course, Spacestation was the one that did actually win, getting the back-to-back bricks in Game 5 and Game 6. Evil Geniuses was the team that got into third there. When you see them come back together, it's Nightmare that says the only place we can do better than is to get first. And with 15 seconds left on Evil Geniuses, it's just tidying up. We send one player out of here at the last minute, and we just vibe.
And as impressive as Nightmare and FaZe played today, Evil Geniuses as well. I think the biggest surprise to me all for today is Spacestation. I mean, they finished 10 points, 10 points, 10 points. They've literally been flawless scoreboard-wise through the tournament so far, but today they get away with a single point off for the day. But massive congratulations, of course, is deserved to Nightmare off of an incredible finish to the day and a double break victory.
And I just see smiles all around because sure, Evil Geniuses didn't get themselves a Mandel Brick, but what they did was they showed that they can take down anyone in a lobby today. For FaZe, they needed to show up and show out. They do. They get themselves a Mandel Brick. They get a point for that, and they finish quite nicely. SSG, I'm honestly really intrigued by how today went from them. I'm not going to say anything bad about them because honestly, there were a couple little moments where it's just like other teams were just going all out.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's kind of what happened to SSG. With everyone getting more aggressive and making some of these like int type plays, things can happen like that.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Also important to mention, I saw some confusion about it in chat earlier today as we get Nightmare on screen here. Only 2 kills, but again, the Mandel Break, that's what it's all about. They get themselves the victory with it. The teams and the players, they cannot see, because normally in the past, in these tournaments, they would be on screen for everyone to see that a team in a winning position, a match point team, is now on the decoding station. Would make everyone literally throw everything they have at the decoding station to deny the finishing, to deny the day from ending. But that has been removed. So teams no longer get any info on who is decoding, which means that for a lot of these teams, they would have to sit and wait until the match was over to go, oh wait, we're done now. So I think that's why you're seeing a lot of sour faces in a lot of the camps there, because they were thinking we got another chance. Maybe it's one of the teams with no breaks so far that got this one, but they've just been informed that, guys, sorry to say it, the day is over. Nightmare is out victorious.
The only way to confirm that there is another game is for you to get that brick.
Oh, yeah.
You're the one that controls it, so the teams in win condition cannot. For our top killers, I'm seeing Evil Geniuses at the top, SSG kind of rounding out the second and third slots, but it's Mew Mew all day.
Solid. I mean, Evil Genius just put on an actual, absolute clinical performance today in terms of individual prowess and capabilities. Issue, though, as he gets the 1k damage done as well. Not something you see too often. Loco with the top assists, of course. Behind every good fragger is a great support, and Loco doing exactly that as well. But Evil Genius, as much as they get the damage done, the bricks just... they couldn't quite find them today. They were there contesting, but I mean, as you were saying, same thing with Spacestation. There was just so much happening around them at all times.
It was definitely a wild day. You even think back to that first map on Brakkesh when we bring out the Mandel Brick round there for the first time, and things just got crazy. But at the end of the day, our round 5 win MVP is going to be none other than Evil Geniuses Mew Mew there. 6k nice assets gain, an assist in there, 1k damage. Like, we're feeling really solid of it. Of course, the Mandelbrick would have been nice, and maybe some more games to be had for the series, but that's okay because Nightmare showed up, they showed out.
It definitely did. Also just lovely that we got the interview with Nightmare just prior to that final game. We get the full-on breakdown of how the team has come to be, how they're faring out, how they're going. We're down the leaderboard right now, but we know we're capable of more. I cannot wait to hear from them and go, yo, you said you're capable of more, now you did it. Like, how do you feel? You know, it's gonna be so good to hear from them.
It truly will. It'll be good to just kind of check in, get that update, especially as we get closer towards the finals of the Delta Force Rise series here in season 1, and just hear how they're feeling, right? We talked about them in that interview specifically, so shifting roles, changing up their operator pools and seeing what they're comfortable with. And obviously we know Equal's comfortable with a sniper, so we'll see how that goes.
Exactly. We do have the interview ready now, so let's get our winning player on. Lucas, welcome to this one, the winning interview. Congratulations so much for what was an incredible day today.
Hello, thank you guys for having me. It's a big win for us and the team.
Definitely. I mean, the script couldn't have been written any better, because coming into the final game in the break stream, we had your interview where you're talking about your team, your story of how you guys came together as a roster. We get the whole breakdown there. Then you saying, we know we're capable of, we know we can go out and win the whole thing. Then you look at the overall leaderboard and they're set down in 8th place. Are they really talking a bit too much? But then you just come out today and you deliver on all parameters. How does it feel having a team that really throughout the day today looked like you just have found each other as a roster?
It feels great. We had a good start to the Rise series. Match day 1, we felt pretty good. And then match day and day 2 and match day 3, we floundered. You know, we couldn't get anything going. We couldn't find any momentum. We were struggling. And going into this week, we knew that we needed to have a very, very productive week of practice. And we played 2 blocks of scrims every single day. And that productive week of practice resulted in us coming out here and giving it our all today.
Perfect.
Yeah, it looked incredibly cohesive. So I love to hear that the scrims and the practice were paying off. I want to go back to maybe that match 4 on Space City. It looked like you guys were setting up a play at the very end there to lay siege, to maybe close it out in match 4 as opposed to game 5. Talk me through what happened, because we see someone get bowed in the back. And I'm just curious what the team dynamics were like right there. That stopped your push.
Yeah, so we originally we started that game on the Rocket Bridge, and we ended up in some trouble early on. WKF flanked us, and then on the other side from Hudson, Meg and his team came and shot us in the back with a bow. So we knew that we could no longer rotate that direction, and we rotated off to test range to avoid the bow after we reset equal. We knew looming in the back of our head that there was a chance there was going to be a bow right behind us. You know, we had to worry about that. And it just so happened there was in fact a bow. So we went to try and push, and we tried to do what we can to get involved in that Mandelbrick. We didn't have the Tempest comp, obviously, so you have to risk your life a little bit more. Right. So unfortunately, sometimes you get bowed in the back, and that does happen. So vibes were a little down after that, but I told the team after that, we just need to lock back in and regain.
Yeah, and you guys definitely did that. So talk to me a little bit more about that, not bringing Tempest out in game 4. I know we saw a brief moment of your interview. Toby talked about it, where you guys shifted all of your roles coming into the Delta Force Rise series, all of your operator pools. Were you guys hedging on bringing in Tempest in games 5 and 6?
Yeah, we anticipated that. So when we look at our spawns, it determines what comp we play. So on that game 4, we had a chance at a tier 2 spawn or a tier 3 spawn, which means our priority of the brick wasn't very close. So we choose not to burn the Tempest on the rounds where we don't have the priority of the brick, hence the no Tempest comp on game 4, and then bringing it on game 5.
I like it.
Solid all around. I mean, I want to hear from you lastly. I had the pleasure of doing a couple of these winning interviews already. Of course, now we've hit the halfway point of the league as a whole. I feel like a lot of the interviews we get, a lot of teams say the same thing, in that the league as a whole started off very passive. Teams, kind of finding their footing, but as it's gone on, teams are now starting to get more daring, get more aggressive. How have you felt the, I guess we can say, evolution of the league having gone? I know it's only been a couple of weeks for you guys to play, but do you feel like there's been any change in the pace over the course of the couple of weeks that you've played?
I think it's definitely sped up a little bit. I think the teams have kind of found their groove and how they feel comfortable playing. And since we played this group on day one of the Rise series, we knew that this lobby would play a little more aggressive. People would be more involved in the bricks than our last matches. And the problem we had in the last two matches is that we were trying to be the active team, and a lot of passive teams punished us for being active. In this lobby where everyone's pretty active, we're able to also go out there and be active as a group.
And you look good in doing so all the way through. I mean, before I let you go, I want to give you a chance. Any shout-outs you want to do to fans, viewers out there? Saw a lot of people cheering you guys on. As soon as you got the first pick, people were like, damn, these guys, they know how to pack a punch. I mean, you know, they were really out delivering. Look good all the way through. Any shout-outs you want to do to the viewers out there?
Shout out to the NTMR fan base. Thank you guys for all the support. And man, a huge shout out to my teammates Equal and Deathwing. They showed up today. We showed up today, and it paid off for us.
It paid off indeed. And I mean, again, you're playing again tomorrow. Can't imagine a better motivator going into back-to-back days of play when you start off the day as you did here. So congratulations again, Lucas and Nightmare, for an absolutely incredible day.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
There you go. That's Lucas. Always incredible to get the insights of these players. Super well spoken as well. Hello. Interviews of people that are that insightful and able to share a lot of feedback. That's, I mean, just great to hear, Tiff.
Yeah, it's always good to kind of hear a little bit of the strategy behind some of the choices and kind of how they may have things that don't go their way, but how they kind of break it down and move forward from that.
Yep.
I think it was a really solid day from Nightmare. They have good, level-headed teammates, and especially making sure that they just stay focused on the end game, which is winning, and they did just that. A second place in that first week showing in match day 1 in A and B, and they bettered it here today with 2 Mandel bricks and a win, and they get to run it back tomorrow. Do we see a double win this weekend?
Imagine a 20-point weekend from an 8th place team. All of a sudden, they're up there contesting SSG for first place. I mean, that would be... I can't even begin to imagine. That would be absolutely insane. But hey, you know what? With what we've seen today and what we saw yesterday, there is a world where that happens. Because I feel like we have so many high-caliber teams in this lobby. And again, the leaderboard doesn't even begin to tell the tale of how many good teams we actually have in this tournament.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, it is going to be time for that final giveaway, y'all. So let me grab the details for you because it's your time to win 3,000 Delta ticket game keys. You're right. Toby's pointing it down. If you guys are watching on Twitch, if you're watching on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, simply type !giveaway in the chat to enter. If you're watching on X, just repost the live stream. Okay, we're going to announce the winners later on in Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. If you're watching on X, we'll announce the winners in the comments under the live stream. So make sure you guys hit the enter. Good luck and best of chances for y'all.
Always great. Always great. Not only do you get to sit back and watch some incredible Delta Force, you also get to get rewarded for doing so. And here we see the leaderboard for the day. Again, both 8th place teams in a 12-team lobby out on top. Nightmare, FaZe Clan doing big things, and you love to see it. We talked about FaZe Clan coming into the day saying, guys, pretty big org, a lot of expectations. My oh my, did they deliver?
They definitely did. They know what's at stake here, and time is of the essence. Once you've expended through that halfway mark of our group stages, if you want to lock yourselves into that survivor match, at least you've got to show up, you got to show out. They did just that. Evil Geniuses, on the other hand, walk away with 31 kill points.
Absurd.
31 is absolutely insane. Double-digit kills in the final 2 matches of the day. Can you imagine if they went to a game 6 for them, or even a potential game 7? Bro, this would have been maybe 50 at the rate they were going.
Yeah. Closing in on record breaking, that would be absolutely insane. And of course, it's going to be Evil Geniuses across the board on this Momo, just absolutely highlight player.
Insane. Bring him up. Match MVP. There we go. Total KP on the day. 15 kills, 2 assists. Almost 2.5k damage. My man was frying out there, looking so dang good for Evil Geniuses, representing here today. And as we set the stage for tomorrow, you will be seeing groups B and D in match 9, which means Evil Geniuses, the Friars they are, will be back to frag even more tomorrow. W Key forever need to bounce back from today. FaZe Clan, can they go top 2 again? Time will tell. For player rankings, our tournament top killers. Killsall tries to get in there, but look at Evil Geniuses. Loco usurps the top.
Also, think about this. I mean, Momo got 15 kills today. He's only in 6th place now. If he's warm now, watch out, guys, because he's coming up that leaderboard. He's doing so quickly.
He has set his sights on the top. Leviathan, Socio drops to 4th. For player ranking, though, our tournament top damagers, even though Killzall and SSG may have not had the best performance today, they are still at the top 4, that top damager. Socio there in the top 3, along with Evil Genius's Loco in 2nd. I'm curious. Evil Genius's Mumo over there. We're going up the top as well. We're sitting in 6th.
I mean, insane. But also congrats, of course, Killzall able to break the 10K border. That is absolutely insane. Over 1,000 damage ahead of the teams on the hunt. Again, I mean, Socio yesterday had a blinder of a day, and he too is still almost 1,500 damage behind. So just goes to show how incredibly well he has been performing. 43 million on the side of Killzall as well. That is, I mean, absolutely insane.
Truly is. It truly is. It just goes to show you how strong of a team they are, will still be. Of course, they're going to be looking for a little bit of revenge when we bounce back as we see them next. For now, SSG still at the top with 32 total match points. Evil Geniuses claws their way into that top 2, besting Leviathan by 2 points. Team Liquid falls to 4th, and Nightmare, after that performance here today, have brought them into the top 5, just 1 point ahead of W Key forever. For our bottom teams there, LSZ and BTH. Groups A, not going to play tomorrow. We should see BTH tomorrow. They're going to have to get some points and bounce back. That gap between 9th and 10th, Toby, is starting to get scary.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, the fact that FaZe and Nightmare were able to now become part of that mid pack is going to make it so exciting, because all of a sudden it's not just about winning anymore. It's about who gets 3rd, who gets 4th, who gets 5th. That 1 extra point at the end of the day could be the difference maker in whether you make it through to the next stage or not. And down the bottom right now, I mean, considering the fact that bottom 2 falls, this is a 3-team tie, three-team fight with 2 eliminations. They're effectively, as it stands right now at least, fighting over that 10th place position, because they're still quite far down the board between that 10th through 12th place.
Yeah, and it's still really interesting even to look at Spacestation and Evil Geniuses. The difference of that is like the Mandel bricks alone. There's 7 points separating them. But the amount of kills that Evil Geniuses threw down today really just bested them on terms of leaderboard. You've got the highest fragging team there in 2nd. If we could just solve the equation of getting more Mandel bricks and netting themselves some wins there, ooh. SSG and Evil Geniuses, man, it's scary.
Oh, yeah.
Scary.
Definitely. And the fact that, I mean, Spacestation can have such a, I won't say bad day, but like, you can call it an underperformance compared to what they've done before. The fact
they
that they
were
can,
perfect.
The fact that they can do that and still sit in 1st goes to show how good of a first half of the group stage they've had.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, you're absolutely flawless. You see the wins over in week 1 in Group A and B. They win Group A and C. They win Group A and D. Sure, you're allowed to have maybe this kind of moment where you don't pop off as much as you're used to. All you have to do is focus on the reset. So when you play again on July 31st, when you go back to Groups A and C, just reclaim your throne. That's all you have to do.
Exactly, absolutely incredible. Well, we have 1 more day left to play coming in tomorrow, and I stand corrected. I guess it's not going to be Nightmare playing tomorrow if Group A ain't playing. I'm sorry. I even had debated with that one as well. That's my fault.
Dang, Toby,
I'm not
way
gonna
to go.
call out certain stat sites for having their facts wrong, so I'll just take the full blame. That was my mistake. Sorry about that. But nevertheless, if you want to stay in with everything that is Delta Force action, hop on over to Play Delta Force official esports site on their official homepage. You can get all the details you want. And you know what? I should have probably done that, because then I wouldn't have made the mistake of calling out wrong teams playing tomorrow. That's
to
on
be
me.
fair,
That's
it's like
on me.
5 a.m. for you, right? It's like 5 a.m. over there.
It's 4 a.m., but I guess the
same thing.
It's the same thing. Yeah. I take that.
It'd be like that. Look, here's the deal. You go pop some coffee, you stay up, you have a nice early morning.
Stay up,
regardless.
you're crazy.
Nah, you gotta lock it in because we got more Delta Force tomorrow. We gotta finish off this week 3.
That is true. We have more Delta Force, as you're saying, finishing off the weekend tomorrow. Who is going to come out victorious? Well, coming into today, I thought I had a pretty good idea of it. It's going to be all EG. It's going to be all Space Station Gaming. Well, Goes to show there are other teams now fighting for these top spots. So we'll be super excited to see what's going to happen tomorrow. Thank you, everyone, so much for tuning in tomorrow. That's going to be both EMEA action and America's action. So plenty of Delta Force coming your way. So until then, see you tomorrow. Go now, play some more Delta Force.
Two members, now the odds are in their favor, 2v1. Everything getting spammed away, and MT getting a little... So hang on a second, NL! Look at that! It's an absolute swing!